What's up, everybody? My name is Extra, and today we're going to be getting the Remarkable Agent achievement for beating Resident Evil 9 on its hardest difficulty, Insanity, which if you've played this mode, you know it definitely lives up to its name. Even if you use infinite ammo, if you're just a casual player trying to get that achievement, trying to get that platinum, finish up the game, this guide is for you. First thing to know, though, we are playing in third person, but you can use it in first person if you'd like. We won't be using any bugs or glitches. But yeah, I want to say that the enemies here at the very beginning are just no joke. I mean, they're fast, they trip a lot, they dodge your shots with input reading. So we want to keep our distance because they will one-shot you. If they get a hold of you, you're going to get one-shotted, especially in the beginning. So we want to keep our distance and, you know, make sure we get grace through that first section and get a lot of materials, because I've seen that a lot of people struggle towards the end because they kind of just bum rush through the first part and then don't get enough materials for whenever she doesn't have a magnum. And even if you have the free Huz needle, the last section can be hard if you're not properly prepared for it. So I'm going to make sure you loot it up, going to make sure we get through the Leon sections good and help you out with the boss fights. I do want to say real quickly, the things we will be using are infinite ammo, obviously, which if you followed up with my last video, you should have more than enough to buy that. We're also going to be using the tactical tracker, which costs 3,000, and then the ghost grudge, which costs 1,000. We won't be using the RPG here, but if you have enough to buy it, definitely use it. You can use it to skip one of the bosses, whether that's Mr. X or, you know, the first stage of Gideon. Whichever one gives you more of a problem, feel free to use it for that. Also, feel free to use any of the charms. I won't be using any of the charms here. I won't be using the infinite ribbon. These are things that you probably already have, but just in case people that don't have it, I wanted to make sure that they're able to follow along with this. And if they have any of that extra stuff, if you have the charms, feel free to put them on. It'll go a lot easier than you see it here. I just want to make sure that you're looted up for the later sections, because again, the very beginning can be tough, but with the magnum that Leon gives grace, it does help that first part be very easy. But again, if you kind of just skip through it and don't pick up any materials, it makes the last section really tough, because she's only gonna have a pistol, and even if you get the Freya's needle, enemies are just so spongy, they're so fast. I don't want you to be in that position. I want to make sure you go to this section just completely looted out. Same thing with Leon. I just want to make sure you have as much health as possible. We're going to play everything super patient, because when we get to the boss fights, I want to make sure you have a lot of health for that, because the boss fights are actually going to be really tough around these areas. The toughest areas are going to be where there's a lot of enemies, and while the magnums are good, since the enemies are so fast, if you get caught in a position where they just kind of catch up to you and you're stuck reloading, they grab you, you get like one-shotted or almost one-shotted, and it just becomes this whole thing. I want to make sure you're never in that position. Gonna make sure you're well taken care of, get you this achievement. Thank you guys so much again for all the love and support you guys showed my last video. I mean, I believe in the first day, I saw that there was like 10 people that said that they were able to get all 3 achievements, and that just made me so happy. You know, when you spend a lot of time on a video, for you to release it and then it helps out so many people, especially on the first day, it's a feeling I can't put into words. And I just want to say thank you guys so much for that, and thank you for all the people that are leaving comments, you know, spreading their wisdom and letting other people know different things that they learned in their runs that wasn't in the video. It always goes a long way, and I always appreciate it. I know those people that read those comments also appreciate it. All of you, all the best. I mean, thank you so much again, and for all the love and support. Again, to have like 20 something videos in 3 years and just have people, you know, give me the time of day to show me some love, show my videos some love, and help out others, it really does mean a lot. Thank you so much again. But yeah, before we get too emotional, just want to say that this is not like Resident Evil 4 Remake where you're under some time constraint. Remember, play patiently. Patience is our best friend here, and if you miss out on some items, then you should be fine to just, you know, take as much time as you need, save as many times as you need, you know, take the game at a more patient pace, because yeah, this mode definitely is difficult. It kind of reminds me a lot of Village of Shadows in Resident Evil 8. Since it's been a while since I played it, I feel like that mode was more difficult in the beginning, kind of like this, where like they didn't want to make it too easy, so like you can still get one-shotted. But like with Leon, you get one-shot at the beginning, especially by the Crimson Heads. But when you get armor, you become a little bit more tankier, especially when you're able to upgrade your weapons. You become a lot stronger, but the beginning parts are a little bit tough. And then the boss fights, of course, they're just super spongy. Along with every other zombie, they're all spongy. But since we have a Magnum with Grace and we're gonna have a Magnum with Leon, it should help it be a lot easier. And since we're not under any time restraints, it should help us give like a lot of space and play out a lot of fights a lot more patiently. I do believe we end up beating it in around like 3 hours and 30 minutes, so it's still pretty quick, but again, it's not a race at this point. If you have the speed demon achievement, feel free to take as much time as you like. Definitely take as many breaks as you like, because there will be certain fights that can be pretty tough. But I mean, if you're coming off of the last video and you did all those 2 achievements all in one go, then you've done an excellent job, and we're almost there, you know, almost got all the achievements. I know this is gonna be the final one for a lot of people, so I'm gonna try to make it as easy as possible. And again, if you're just here to chill and watch the video, again, I hope you enjoy. Let me know down in the comments what other type of videos you guys like to see. And again, if you guys learn anything in y'all's run, definitely put it down in the comment section so it helps out future people. Definitely feel free to ask me any questions you'd like. I try to get to as many comments as I can, especially when the video first releases. I'm planning on releasing my first playthrough of the game, but it's going to have to be unlisted since something, I don't know which part of Resident Evil 9 YouTube doesn't seem to like. It looks like it age restricts it. I don't know what scene does it, so unfortunately I can't really post it because then it doesn't get to all the people that want to see it. But for those who do want to see it, I'll make sure to make a post about it. Put you a link straight through there. You can see my first reactions, or if you just want to watch it with the cutscenes, definitely gonna have that in there as well. But yeah, now that we're done with this intro part, let's get straight into it. with with Leon's first part, I mean, it's gonna be really easy. We do want to take it patient though, and we do want to farm as many zombies as we can here, but because we have infinite ammo and the magnum, and it's the very first area, so it's very open, we pretty much just destroy everybody with the magnum. I mean, this thing is like a bazooka. You just pretty much one shot every enemy, but do not get cocky, because the enemies also one shot you, especially the blister heads. If they grab you, since we don't have any armor, if they grab you and they take you down to the ground, you will get one shot and you will have to go back to the last checkpoint. I tested many different things here. As you can see, I like to start off in the main street, so I have as much space as possible. That's also what makes this area, this beginning part, like a lot easier than some other parts where the streets are a lot, you know, more closed. Is that since we have a lot of open area, we have way more time to react to the zombies than in the later areas where it's really tight, like in the beginning of the care center. But yeah, enjoy it, because I mean, you earned this. This is you know, doing all your runs, especially if you're coming off of the, you know, no healing, speed demon, and minimalist one, you know, you earned this. Definitely enjoy it. It's always fun just having a run like this. I'm definitely going to enjoy it, because my next run after this is going to be with no infinite ammo. So I know these zombies are going to come back with a vengeance and be like, you remember me? I know they're just going to give me an absolute pain. So I definitely was just having fun doing this. And we do want to take our time taking down all the zombies here so we can farm as much credits as we can. Because since we're going to be losing the magnum, since we're giving it to Grace, we want to be able to have enough to get the shotgun as well as the ghost grudge later on. So take your time here. Again, we're under no time constraints. So we want to make sure that we use up all the free space as possible to gather as many credits as we can. Definitely going to be needing it later, especially for the boss fights. But yeah, not too hard of a part. Definitely one of the easier parts. And yeah, with Grace's section, especially in the beginning, since we can't do any damage to the girl, things to note, she is a lot faster on Insanity, and I mean, noticeably faster. And just like all the enemies, I mean, she basically one-shots you if she gets a hold of you. We don't want that to happen, so we want to get through this part as fast as possible. You can play this a safer way, but I'm going to show you a way how you can kind of, you know, get through it a little bit faster. It does require us to pick up the bottle. Now, don't worry about wasting that bottle. Normally, the bottles are actually very good because they can stun any zombies. And later on, you know, you can craft Molotovs or acid. But here we want to actually use it to get her attention so we can skip past some of the like forced cutscenes, or not cutscenes, encounters that it forces with her. Like, for example, whenever you're running down that hallway, she normally drops down. Or if she goes into the room, she bursts through the door. I'm sure you guys have seen it at this point. We want to skip past that so we only have to interact with her once and get done with this part as quickly as possible. Again, I won't be using the infinite ribbons, but you'll see that we're going to have a lot of ribbons. So even if you don't have the infinite ribbon from the speed demon achievement, you're still going to be fine. So we're going to save there. Going to grab this bottle. And there's another bottle that I don't grab, but I'll show you here. I end up missing it, and it's actually somebody in the comments told me, which again, shout out to everybody that types stuff in the comments that tells you, hey, you missed this item, or there's an item here that's helpful, or I learned that if you do this in a certain way, it helps out with future videos, and those are all going to be super helpful for the no infinite ammo because it's going to be tough. So to start off, we immediately just want to go straight to the room because she is so fast that we do not want to mess with her at all. Like, and you want to stand around here because if you stand too close to the door, she will hit you, and we don't want to take as much damage. Again, I want to make sure that you have as much healing items as possible for when you actually need it, so we want to avoid damage as often as we can. You know, for easy stuff. Obviously, there's going to be some times where you can't avoid damage, and that's no problem. And even if you do get hit there, it's okay because there's an herb in this room and a medical injector. So they both heal you a lot.
Oh my god.
After that,
This looks important.
there's another ink ribbon right here. The game is very generous with ink ribbons, and then crafting them is not going to be too hard. Since we have infinite ammo, we're able to get a lot of blood to craft as many as we need. Get that antique coin there. And for this part, we're definitely doing it a little bit differently. We don't want to get her attention, so we're slightly tapping. At first, it's going to seem like we're moving super slow. I promise you it speeds up a little bit. In case you've never played this game before and it's your first time watching, the reason we normally don't want to push this is because if you see the tray that's on the desk or like that box thing in the back, if you push it too hard, it will drop something. It will get the girl's attention, and at this difficulty with how fast she is, we don't want to mess with her. So we're doing it slowly kind of tapping. I mean, once you're around here, it's more than good enough. Gonna get the screwdriver that we need to get the fuse. And the reason we also want to take our time here versus, you know, getting her attention is because we actually want her to spawn in the hallway, as you're going to see. But if you do aggro her, I mean, it's not too big of a deal. Our last save point was not too long, so just reload it. Try to push that slowly. And we're just going to stand right here. I know it looks scary because we're standing up and the lighter's on, but I promise you she's not going to see you. So we're just going to chill here for a second. You can read whatever's on the board right there. That's actually what I was doing. While I was waiting, I was kind of reading what's on there. Doesn't say anything about the La Campana that I'm looking for, but it's okay because she's almost past here. Oh yeah, do you see that bottle right there? If you have a lighter, you can actually grab it. I didn't actually see it here, but now that she's almost past, we want her to actually... Okay, so now that she's here, we're slowly just gonna wait for her. We want the animation of her going inside the door like that, just so we have enough space. Throw the bottle at her, get her attention. And the main reason we want to do this is because we want her to have a line of sight of us, because once she has line of sight of us, she won't burst down through that door at the left, and then she also won't come out through the ceiling over here. So yeah, you want to make sure that you have line of sight of her because she can't catch up to you really quick. Here I was just trying to see like how far was I from her. I thought she was going to grab me there, I'm not going to lie. But yeah, even if you don't have the infinite ribbon, we'll still be able to save a lot, especially with all the blood we're going to be able to collect. And a big thing is that since we're going to have Leon's Magnum through the Grace first section, we're going to be able to collect a lot of blood, which we're going to need for the final section, because when you get to Grace in the lab area, since you don't have the Magnum anymore, you're a lot weaker. But with all the Molotovs you're going to be able to make and bottles of acid with all the blood we're going to collect, it's going to make that part a lot easier. Grab the fuse. Going to run through here. I did learn that you are faster in third person versus first person. So that's a big thing I want to note too. There's actually some credits behind me that I didn't pick up. I actually learned that from one of the comments in my comment section. Thank you so much for that. Here we're just going to be buying the shotgun. Again, I won't be using any charms, but feel free to slap on any of them that you want. There's like the cute bear one that's very good. Any of the damage ones are also good. I also learned that you can put on a scope. I didn't learn until like a little bit later in this. You can actually put on a scope onto your shotgun or any of your weapons, and it doesn't... You don't have to make it go into first person. You can keep it in third person. There's an option that you can go into the settings to turn that off. So definitely turn that on if you just want to keep everything in third person. But yeah, be careful with areas like this. I don't believe any of these zombies can turn into blister heads, so it's still a relatively easy area. I just ended up using the shotgun here because I was kind of curious on how much damage it does on insanity. I wanted to see, like, you know, what can I expect on the no infinite run? And yeah, they're kind of tanky. I mean, if you headshot them, I mean, you obviously do more damage, and we will be using charms on the no infinite ammo one. So the cute bear charm will definitely help us do a lot more damage as well. But I just wanted to see how tanky they were compared to just normally using it. Like, if you use a shotgun on, like, casual or even on standard, I believe it just pretty much one-shots everybody. So they're a little bit tankier, as you can see. But if you had the cute bear charm, like, I think at this distance you do 50% more damage. I wanted to pick up the chainsaw there, but it was doing its little dance. Here, we can just use the Magnum. I mean, this thing is insane. You know, normally, when I do my first, like, infinite ammo runs in any of the Resident Evil games that have it, there's not too many weapons that I find that are super satisfying to use, but this weapon throughout the entire game, it remains super satisfying. Kind of like popping balloons. And he just deals with enemies so well. I mean, we're going to end up upgrading it even more. And even if you deal with a lot of blister heads later on, and then the zombies in RPD and the Raccoon City area, it still pretty much just holds its way through the entire way. Yeah, another part that's made super easy with the Magnum. I mean, with Leon's parts, we're never going to struggle too much. There's certain ways you want to play certain areas, especially the tight ones, because you just don't want to get grabbed. I mean, I cannot emphasize enough, since I haven't been hit, it probably doesn't show how dangerous these enemies are, but I promise you, the insanity mode, if any of the zombies grab you and you have no armor, you will pretty much always get one-shotted, and if not, you will be pretty much like no HP. So it's very easy to lose all your healing items, and we don't want that to happen. So we definitely want to play as safe as possible. I want to make sure that we play this in a way where when you do need a lot of healing items, you'll have them available, like in the boss fights. So we play these certain areas, like the very beginning and a lot of the easier parts, as safe as possible, so we can make sure we have a lot of healing items when we actually need it. But yeah, not too bad of a part. Now that we're getting to Grace's section, I definitely want to remind that since we're going to have the Magnum, just going to try to play it as safe as possible, farm up as many items as we can so we have everything we need for the lab section. Because I have seen that a lot of people kind of just breeze through this part on Insanity. If you have infinite ammo and then they get to the final part, and since they kind of just breeze through all the beginning area here at the care center, they don't have any items when they get to the care center, and all you have is like your pistol and then maybe the automatic pistol that you can buy from the store, but it's still going to be hard to deal with enemies. So we don't want that to happen. We want to make sure you have a bunch of blood, a bunch of healing items.
Can't hurt to pick some, I guess.
She is 100% true on that. We're going to need as many of those as we can just in case we get grabbed. And again, try to save as much as possible. If you have the infinite ribbon, just use as much as possible. Same thing, if you have like any of these deluxe charms or charms that you got in your last playthrough, use as many things as you need. Also going to be picking these up because again, when you'll see when we get to the end, we have so much blood that we pretty much could have made anything we needed. And that's kind of how I want to leave you. I want to make sure that you have everything that you need for the absolute worst case scenarios. We're also going to be investing into 4 steroids in this playthrough. If you feel super confident, you can also put into stabilizers. But since we have the Magnum, I don't know how useful that will be. Unless, like, you know, at the very end of the game, you want to use a pistol and do more damage with that. But I just want to make sure you have as much healing items as possible. And since every time you use a steroid, it full heals you, feel free to use that. I mean, we use them pretty much instantly. I don't pick it up here, and the reason is because we have limited inventory. So first we're going to be taking out this guy. Again, give yourself some space because he will one-shot you in this difficulty. And as you can see, I mean, even with the most powerful Magnum in the game, he is still really tanky. But thankfully, we got some stuns on him. We took him out. He doesn't drop the pantry key like he normally does. He actually drops 2 antique coins. We will be having a lot of antique coins. I actually won't be picking all of them up because the only thing we're going to need is the blood collector thing that helps you get more blood. Take out that enemy.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, this is gonna be... We're gonna just clear out all the zombies that we can. Because we want to have, like... I'm gonna spend a part in this playthrough just collecting all the materials you're gonna need for the worst case. I'm laughing because I don't know why. When I originally tried to pick up that coin, I thought it was gonna get flushed down, so I actually freaked out for a second there. But anyways, I want to make sure that we farm up all the items that we're going to need for the last part. So we're going to just be kind of doing zombie cleanup. So don't worry, if you see me pass some items, we will be spending a split coming back and just collecting everything we need. And even then, there's still going to be a lot of items I don't pick up, but feel free to get anything that you'd like. Even with all the items that we end up getting, we end up having a giant stockpile, which is exactly what we're going to need for the final parts. If you're wondering why I sometimes randomly just shoot on the ground, and some other Resident Evil games, whenever you shoot at the ground, zombies actually react to it. I've noticed in this game, certain ones don't. Like this one right here, for example. I normally don't try to waste ammo unless I have a lot of it. And since we have infinite, I'm just like, I want to get their attention. But this guy just completely just was unfazed by the random magnum shot that he heard. And right there, I mean, since we have infinite ammo, I was just like, can you actually, you know, take off their head afterwards? But no, you can't. So they can still become blister heads. So you definitely want to headshot them. It does save a lot more time. Yeah, if you play at this distance, her scream does not affect you. Which again, I want to make sure we take as least damage as possible. So as soon as we get to any section, you have a lot of healing items. Gonna grab that green herb. Gonna combine those. Again, we will come back for all the stuff that's in the bar area. I just want to make sure that the way we route it is the quickest way possible. So don't worry, we'll come back for that later. When it comes to these quartz puzzles, they're pretty much all the same. There's some differences on insanity, but that's mainly with the saves and for like some of the locations for some items. Like the gem box is over here. That's I don't know why it's just so funny to just walk into every room and just destroy everybody. And it's also because I'm thinking, you know, for the no infinite ammo one, I feel like it's actually going to be better to leave some zombies behind for Leon so you can farm credits. But since here, we just want to clear out everything so we don't have any problems, we're just going to be clearing out every zombie that we see.
What if I can't get out?
I'm going to drop off that first quartz.
Perfect fit.
And at this point, if you've been following along, we should have around 9 antique coins, but don't worry if you don't have one, because I kind of have just been talking through and there was some coins that I kind of just picked up while I was talking. Don't worry, there's coins everywhere. Like on Insanity, they're all over the place, and the only thing we really need is the pouch that gives us more inventory space and then the blood collector. Normally the handgun ammo, I mean, I saw it's like 20 or 30 bullets or something like that. Definitely will be useful on a no infinite ammo run. But since we don't need that, and we don't need the blood knife, we just need these 2 items here. And with that down, we're just going to get the key card. I believe there's also an herb. I don't remember if I pick it up here. I do. Nice. Want to make sure to leave no items behind. At least healing items. I do believe I leave a lot of blood behind, but it's because we have so much. I mean, I'm more worried about the bags of blood. Yeah, make sure you get the empty injector, because since there's no steroids or stabilizers in the coin slots, we want to make all the ones that we can. Here, I want to make sure we got these ribbons, because again, if you don't have the infinite ribbon, I want to make sure that you have as many as that you need. But we're going to be good. Again, saving is not going to be an issue here. Feel free to save as much as you'd like. We're definitely going to have more than enough ink ribbons to save as much as you like if you don't have the infinite ribbon. So here we're just going to put some stuff away because we're going to have more space to pick up some things that we're going to need. Going to use up an ink ribbon slot. So we have another spot open. Now we're going to clear out the east wing. But yeah, pretty chill so far. I know I had a lot of people saying in the comment section of my last video that they were worried about certain parts of the infinite ammo run. I promise you, we're going to get through this. As you can see, so far hasn't been too bad. There might be a few sections that might be tough, but as long as we play it safe, we should be good. If I have to guess any part that's probably going to be actually really tough, it might be the hunk fight. And then also the Mr. X fight, and obviously the final fight. But if you have a rocket launcher, you can pretty much skip the Mr. X fight. Which I definitely recommend. Or if you want to skip the first phase of Gideon, that also works.
This might be useful.
Get the blood collector. This guy somehow tanked the shot. But don't worry, we got him. He can come back as a blizzard, I believe. We do have to craft some of these, what are they called? Blood samples? But they're pretty easy. On this one, I mean, you just click that one. It's pretty free. I mean, some of the other ones were a little complicated. Also, I believe that zombie over here drops a coin, if I remember correctly. Yeah, we're going to be collecting a lot of blood. He does. Okay, so make sure if you missed out on one of the coins that we got earlier, no problem. There's a lot of coins laying around. Here you can pretty much collateral all these people. If you line it up. I think one of them didn't get hit. Or he did get hit, he just didn't get headshot in. Took him down. Looks like that person also dropped an antique coin too, which is good to know. I'm taking note of this for whenever I start my no infinite ammo run. Because we are going to need all the items. Maybe not the blood knife. It seems useful, but I feel like unless you tip a zombie over, they're not going to give you too many chances to knife them. With the big boy, definitely keep your distance, but we're going to take him out here.
Oh, what the fuck?
Just wait for him to come around the corner. Yeah, make sure you charge up the shots, or I'm not sure what that's called whenever like you tighten it up, but it does definitely do more damage. I think it's like 18% more damage. But with him down, we have a lot of space to, walk back and forth with no problem. Get another herb here. But yeah, as long as we keep our distance, I mean, none of these parts should be too difficult. We got this. Gonna make this a super easy insanity achievement. Right there. So as you can see, he also drops 4 coins, which you can pick up if you like. I also noticed that there's a coin in that plant back there. So the coins are abundant. I feel like they're going to be definitely way harder to get with no infinite ammo. So I'm definitely taking note of all the free ones I can get. Here again, if you stay this distance, she won't be able to hit you. Take her out. Take them out. I mean, it's definitely it's a super fun weapon to use. We're gonna miss it for the last section. The last section, the biggest problem is the lickers, because they're fast. They can pretty much leap at you from across the room. So we're going to want a lot of bottles and a lot of scrap too. You're going to see me pick up a lot of scrap so we can make empty bottles and we can make as many bottles of acid that we can. Because even if you have her automatic pistol, Grace's automatic pistol, I don't think it's going to be very useful against the liquors on Insanity. They're just going to do a lot of damage. And they're going to be very spongy. But with that said, we're going to get the second quartz here. The puzzle is the same. Star, sun, moon, sun. Try not to pick up the notebook. We are kind of tight on space, and I want to make sure you don't have to keep going back and forth getting stuff. We will spend a save just, collecting all the stuff that we can and dropping them off at the boxes, but we want to make sure we open up the door that leads to another box so we can save a lot of time, not having to go back and forth. Gonna clear out this room. Gonna get the items from here. This is actually where the other pantry key is. Normally the chef has it, but on Insanity, it's in this room. Again, we will be coming back for a lot of those items, but in order to save a lot of time and kind of make it as organized as possible, we're just gonna be getting the blood specimen. We're also going to be dropping off one of the quartz, so we don't have to be carrying it around. And with that down, I mean, we're breezing through this. Got a lot of healing items. We're going to be putting them away so we can save as many as we can. Hopefully, the way we're routing this helps you out as well. Going to be storing that. When you see how much items we have towards the end for Grace's lab section, I mean, this is going to be crazy. We're going to have so much, so even if we don't have the Magnum, you're going to be very looted up. Yeah, I mean, it's a really chill playthrough. I hope when the No Infinite one comes along, the zombies spare us. I know they're going to come back with a vengeance. I mean, I can already tell. They're just going to be like, you thought it was just funny to run us over with the Magnum, huh? But they're not even going to know because we're probably just going to be crouching past everything. Or using the injector thingies. But with that said, going to pick up the wrench. We're going to save, and we're actually going to use this save to pick up a lot of items. So we're going to actually be putting away the knife and the wrench. And we're also going to be picking up the other pouch so we can have more inventory because I want to try to avoid that when you get through this section, you don't feel like overloaded with like, have to go back here to get here. I just try to make it like as organized as possible. So again, we can just do everything that we need to do. One solo run through. And just have everything that you could possibly need for the final parts. So that's why we're kind of just beelining it for the pouch here. As you can see, there's just there's just items all over the ground. Make sure you take out this zombie. Yeah, we want to prioritize getting more space first. So that should help up, having less to go back and forth. And here I'm just trying to destroy some boxes to see like with the boxes it can be kind of RNG what items you get from them. I mean, it always evens out. But definitely still worth breaking as many as you can so you can see which ones have herbs or not that you might need later. Also, did you guys see that? That body kind of like moved by itself. I don't know why. I feel like that scared me the first time and it just kind of scared me again. But here, I'm gonna grab the pistol so we actually have a weapon later on. Very important. Like, do not leave that behind. I'm sure they give it to you again later on, but just in case they don't, I end up picking it up here. And the reason we don't get the coins in the vault is because, again, we already have all the coins that we need. And the the zombies themselves, and you know, some of the boss zombies drop 4 of them. Like the big boy dropped 4, I believe. The chef dropped 2 to 4. So any extra ones that you need, I mean, they're gonna be laying around everywhere. But since we're only getting the pouch and then the blood upgrade, we don't really need all the coins that they give us. Also, the reason we're routing it this way is because we don't want the zombies to turn into crimson heads. Because once you reach a certain point into the game, that's when the zombies can start transforming. As you can see, we passed a lot of zombies right now. Obviously, you can just kind of headshot all of them, and that won't be a problem. But sometimes you might be in a position like this, where this guy, he just kind of... They try to put him in there to scare you, because he's normally not there on the other difficulties. But he's got his arms protecting his head, so you may not be able to get all of them, but it's still fine. But get everything that was in that room. You should have enough space for it. Gonna clear out these 2 items. With this one, it's just that one, then this one. And then for this one first, this one second, this one third, that one last. That's the more important one. The other one was for the blood knife and for the ammo, which obviously we won't be using. Again, there's another antique coin there in case you need some more coins. But at this point, I feel like you'll have an abundance of them. If anything, it's probably taking up an extra slot in your inventory right now. If you already have the pouch and the blood collector, just put away the coins. And we're just collecting all the blood so we can be able to craft a lot of items. And here we're crafting another steroid. So we're going to take both of them. Don't worry if you don't see the animation. Yeah, right here I show that. Like, even if you don't see the animation, if you take them back to back, it still counts. You can see at the bottom right. But we're also going to be getting the pantry key over here. We're also collecting any extra blood that we have on the ground since we're crafting a lot of items with the 2 steroids. Need some of that extra blood. I believe this guy always has a blood bag on him. So important to get that. Make sure you pick up that bottle. I mean, gonna need a lot of them. It's gonna be kind of funny because normally the last section can be pretty tough because since we don't have infinite, you know, bottles or anything, we want to be able to craft as many as we can. And make sure you get this scrap too, because again, we want to make as many items so you can just pretty much just throw a bunch of bottles of acid and Molotovs at the final enemies. These are all good investments, I promise. At the very end, you're gonna be so happy that you have it, because I have seen I have seen that a lot of people are like, infinite ammo, pretty easy through some parts, but it gets very hard at the very end because people don't properly plan for it. They kind of just run past this entire part and just don't pick up anything, and it ends up catching up to them whenever you don't have enough items to do that. Yeah, we're putting some stuff away right now. Gonna keep the pantry key on us. You know what's crazy is that in the pantry, there's actually 3 zombies in there. So it's kind of normally what's supposed to be like a loot room. You know, on Insanity, there's just 3 zombies waiting there for you. Like, that's crazy. How we're gonna be able to work around that with no infinite ammo? It's definitely gonna be interesting to see. And this guy has a lot of blood on him, and we love it. So kind of be careful. Don't just barge in here. You will get grabbed, and remember, even with 2 steroids, you'll pretty much be one-shot still. You may not get fully one-shotted at this point, but you will have, like, very little health. And I just want to make sure you have as much healing items for when you do actually need it. We're going to try to avoid as much possible damage as we can. There's another ink ribbon there. Did not mean to pick that up. Yeah, here I craft an empty bottle with the scrap. Then just collect any extra blood. I mean, again, once you have everything cleared out, feel free to go back and forth if you need some extra items. But the way I'm routing it here, you're going to see you're going to have a lot. I mean, I promise you, you'll be fine for the end. There's still one more area we have to clear upstairs. There is a huge blood bag in one of these rooms. I believe that was like 100, which we definitely love to see. And there's also some boxes here. I don't believe either of them had an herb. I do think there was a scrap there. Definitely pick up that scrap. Another bottle. And here we want to get the other blood vial thing. You don't have to worry too much about this part. You know, they may turn into blister heads later on, but since we won't be having to come back through here, it won't be too much of a problem. Because yeah, blister heads in a small room, they're very dangerous because yeah, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but when you aim at them, they actually do this like tripping animation that it makes them very hard to hit. Like their program, they kind of input read. We made another steroid there too. I don't want to get too sidetracked, but we pick up also the blood specimen. But yeah, the Crimson Heads, they can just dodge your shots and just close the gap very easily. Also, make sure you pick up, there's a 100 blood transfusion bag, which is a huge one. And thankfully they put this analyzer here so we can just completely get rid of this one. I think I messed this one up at first. Yeah, I do. Or I just reset it. Yeah, you do that one and this one. I'm trying to remember what this one gives you. The med injector. Okay, that one is pretty important just in case, you know, you want to make more injectors. Since you're going to have a lot of blood, you don't have to use up all your herbs into making just the triple herb things. You can just make as many med injectors as you need. I know some people are going to be like, why don't you break that raccoon doll? If you're watching up to this video, or up until this point, I mean, type A or B. You know, we always love to see it. If you're using this guide, kind of playing along while you're doing your guide, hopefully your run's going well. Pretty easy so far. Nothing too bad, especially, again, you know, we try to route it in a way where you can avoid as much damage as possible. Because if you kind of go in recklessly, the game does punish you for it. Like, even with infinite ammo, it's kind of like Village of Shadows. Where, I mean, you could have infinite ammo in Village of Shadows, and as long as you keep your distance, it's good. But play it dangerously or recklessly, they definitely punish you very quickly. So, put some items away. We collected most of the important stuff. Yeah, I was just trying to see if any of these had an herb beforehand. I don't believe they do, so it's pretty much just pistol ammo. Another difference in Insanity mode versus the other modes here is that whenever you shoot at the... I'm not sure what that vehicle is called. A forklift? You know, when the guy's in the forklift, you have to take him down, but you also have to shoot the bottom of it. I'm going to show you here. It's kind of... it probably got people on their first try. I remember the first time I did it, it actually... I got very lucky last second doing it. Yeah, so we're going to take him down. Edsy, like, if you haven't played this mode yet, definitely be careful. You have to shoot at this bottom part here. It's kind of one of those troll things that I think it's just purely there just to just to scare people, because it only takes one normal pistol shot to also take it down, so it won't be something that you have to like spam at it.
Oh, fuck.
But yeah, if you're watching up to this point, let me know what kind of videos you guys like to see too. would you guys be interested in a Resident Evil 1 remake through Resident Evil 2 remake, 3 remake, and 4 remake all in one video, like with all of cinematic? That's something y'all be interested in? Let me know. I mean, it'll probably be like a... I don't even know how long that'll be. Probably like a 12-hour video, maybe. But I know a lot of people were asking for the first remake and then the third remake. And a lot of people like to see the cinematics. I don't believe I've Resident Evil 4 remake cinematic in there, but I didn't know that so many people actually just watch my videos and have never played Resident Evil. I have had a lot of people say that I got them into Resident Evil, which is... It's an honor. I mean... to have my family members that got me into it when I was a kid, it was just such a wholesome feeling, and it's something that I remember very fondly. So the fact that there's other people that have gone into the game that I love a lot, it means a lot, and I hope you're enjoying the game as well. So yeah, let me know. But with that said, we're just picking up some extra items here. We got the key items, so we're almost done with this first section, and we have a lot of items on us. Hasn't been too hard. If you pick up the blood the way I've been doing it, it does save you a lot of time. Because all the items that I've got, I promise you, will be more than enough that you need for the last part. Obviously, if you feel like picking up more items, do whatever you like. We're not on any time constraints. It's not like Resident Evil 2 Remake or 4 Remake where, we have to be very speedy with how we play. And I guess Resident Evil 3 Remake. Oh my god, that reminds me of the Resident Evil 3 Remake. That Inferno mode, that final Nemesis boss, it definitely was something else. Something I'll be definitely excited to revisit soon. But with that said, dropping off some more items. We have a ton of blood bags, as you can see. That's kind of why I've been picking up the blood the way we've been picking it up, so we can craft as much items without having to use the blood bags. So as long as you follow along, I mean, you have a ton of items, a ton of blood bags. So we'll be really set for the final part. And this is why we wait to do this towards the end, because once you get this item, that's when enemies can start becoming blister heads. Poor guy, he did not stand a chance.
Of course it gets up.
I'm just dead that a lot of these enemies just got straight mud butt in their pants. I mean, that is very unfortunate to not only become a zombie, but to just have your pants soiled like that. I mean, it made me laugh the first time. But yeah, with that said, I mean, we're almost done with this section. Gonna go craft an ink ribbon so we can save. I believe I also end up making multiple ink ribbons, not on this one, but on our next one. And we haven't had to touch any of our blood bags yet, so it will be a good insurance for later on. So I'm gonna do another save here. Gonna go get the level 3 wristband. And yeah, we want to clear out as many enemies through here as possible, because at this point they can turn into blister heads. I think even more so after you get the level 3 wristband. And I think even with 2 steroids in, I'm almost certain Crimson Heads can still one-shot you. We don't want to mess around with that. But thankfully, again, I mean, even though we don't have any auto saves, I try to make sure we save as often as possible, so in case you do get grabbed or something goes unfortunate, it's okay. It will be no problem. Gonna gather the blood here, but yeah, you'll never be too far away from another save. Just checking if there's an herb there, which there wasn't, but it's okay. There's some scrap here, definitely get that. Get the herb. Yeah, I always try to make sure we save, especially when the Crimson Heads come into play, because when they trip and they fall, it's a quick animation. I've done a good job at avoiding it here, but it's something that when they input read that you're aiming at them, they just completely dodge your shot. They do that 7-hit combo that's crazy, and then they can sometimes immediately go for a grab right after. I mean, it's a lot. Like with these enemies, I'm sure there's a way you can headshot all of them. But we will be clearing them out before we bring Emily here, because we do not want to get grabbed. Especially while holding Emily, because we're just completely defenseless at that point. But since they don't trigger here, we want to make sure we go get Emily first. But after that, we set her down on the couch, come back, clear out these enemies, and any other blister heads that may come out. That's like another thing too. I mean, you could play it very slowly and make sure you just like headshot every enemy. But the way we've been playing it, I mean, we're breezing through it pretty well. And as long as we keep our distance and take down the blister heads before they stand up, they shouldn't be too much of a problem.
What do you want me to read? There's some buttons with braille on them. Can you read them and then
Yeah, definitely gonna set her down first.
sit. Star. I'll be right back.
The audio in the game's kind of like bugging out because we're going so fast. Yeah, here again, want to make sure we make some ink ribbons. Because I want to make sure that like you don't have to go back in case like when you're dealing with the game that's so much RNG. I always try to take into account that like, okay, maybe the blister head gets up and it grabs this person and then they have to go all the way back and they just lost 10 minutes of time or something like that. Which again, it's not time, but still, you don't want to have to go back if you don't have to, you know what I mean? So I want to make sure we save as often as we can and clear out as many enemies as we can. But hopefully we've done a good job at showing, yeah, as you can hear, they're already going kind of crazy. You can actually take them down before they fully transform. I like to walk in here a little bit.
What's that?
Yeah, because sometimes you might come in here and you're like, oh, there's only one. And then you might run back. And then the game kind of catches you off guard. And then you come back and then it's transforming then. So that's why I kind of walk in the middle of the area here to make sure they both fully transform. We're also collecting some extra blood. We're going to always try to keep it full so we don't have to get into our blood bag inventory. We definitely want to save that towards the end. But with that, that's why I'm kind of walking back here, making sure there's no crimson heads. Your run might be completely different. Like, it depends on if you've headshot the enemies or not. Definitely make sure you clear out, you know, this entire area where we take Emily through.
I'm just gonna.
But yeah, in case in your run, in case you body shotted some of the enemies, just make sure you clear out this entire way where we take Emily, because we do not want to have any crimson heads. They are quick. They will grab you. And even if maybe at this point you can tank one shot from them, like a grab, they just attack so fast back to back that if you're holding Emily, you have no way to defend yourself. You're definitely going to get one-shotted. Or, I mean, you're going to get follow-up hit, and then you'll go down. And I don't want that to happen. I want to make sure that this goes as completely smooth as possible, and the only hard parts we have to tackle are the boss fights. But again, if you have an RPG, you can completely skip one of them. Makes it a lot easier as well. Definitely recommend it.
Here it is.
Yeah, see right there? That zombie reacted to the shot on the ground, so I'm not sure what makes some of them react to it. Yeah, do you see that little trip he did? And the way Crimson Heads, they're like that, but a lot quicker. Like, I'm not even joking. You know, I've tried to make sure that we don't have to deal with them, but I cannot stress enough that if one is able to transform and stand up and just walk around, they input read you. Like, I don't mess with them at all. Like, I immediately, if I hear one, immediately just take them down. Do not let them stand up. They will dodge your shots. They will grab you extremely quickly. Their 7-hit combo is absolutely insane. I mean, I'm thinking that like in a no infinite run, it's just straight up worth making as many injectors and just preemptively injecting enemies that turn into, you know, the Crimson Heads, because they are crazy.
Grace? I did it! Come here. I thought that thing was dead.
Well, that's one section down. Hopefully it's going good for you. Definitely let me know in the comments if you guys learned anything that we haven't done here, because I'd be very interested in knowing. Will definitely help out with my next run. Gonna try to get to working on it soon. Okay, here we want to make sure we buy the Ghost Grudge. It's pretty expensive, but at this point you should have enough.
Glad that FBI agent got away.
And this is kind of this is gonna be our Magnum before we get our other one back. It's still really good. I mean, it doesn't have like a kick sound as much as the other one does, but I promise you it's still very strong. Make sure you pick up any large gunpowder that you see. I end up skipping some of them, but we end up having a lot of grenades, but I want to make sure you have as many as you can possibly get. As you can see, I mean, the Ghost Grudge is very strong. The only downside of the Magnums is that when you're dealing with a lot of enemies, you don't have that much ammo in them, so that's again why we want to play things patiently. I try to make sure that we always have a lot of space between us and enemies, because if you're caught reloading, you get grabbed, you get hit. We want to avoid that. But this enemy, I mean, he's not too hard, especially since we have a Magnum. Bonk, bonk, bonk. I believe he should be almost down here. Yep, he is down. I probably could have baited him to hit more of the objects on the side, but I wasn't too sure which areas might have a grenade or not. We really do want to save the grenades for the later parts of the game, so don't use... yeah, save the grenades for whenever we do use them. They're very strong against the boil enemies, and we want to save them for the lickers also at the very end of the game. So try to save them, only use them whenever I use them. Because they might be really good for crowd control. They actually work as like a good stun for a lot of enemies, which helps you follow up with the hatchet. But to make sure that we deal with the harder parts later on, we don't want to just waste them on, you know, just random enemies that don't need it. The Ghost Grudge should be able to handle a lot of them. You also have a shotgun. Also, once Grace finishes the basement area, we're going to have the other Magnum. So it will be good. The only thing we want to avoid is using up ammo too fast and then the enemies completely just overrun us. We don't want that to happen. There's some credits in here. That first closet that we see upstairs, I don't believe has anything, so you don't really need to open it. We do want to get the credits here, though.
This place is infested.
Not too much, though, because we went through it earlier with Grace and just completely cleared out everybody. I 100% forgot that guy was there. He definitely caught me off guard. And another thing, why the Ghost Grudge is good here too, and why I think it's worth it, it's very cheap to buy with points, and it deals with blister heads very well. The shotgun here will not... It's very strong, the shotgun, but it's not strong enough to take down a bunch of blister heads. I think we got a crit there. I don't think they normally go down that fast while they're transforming. So you want to headshot them. Yeah, it can get very dangerous very fast. As you can see, that guy almost stood up, and if they're allowed to stand up and then just move around, they become very dangerous. But yeah, I like to take down those enemies first before we pull the lever, because if you pull the lever, then you're going to be dealing with a lot of enemies, and you want to take down the blister heads as soon as they can.
Every single time.
I believe we got another crit on them. I know it looks like we just destroyed them very fast. The Magnum is strong, but the Crimson Heads are very tanky. But the way we played that, definitely good. As you can see, there's some enemies I completely forgot that they're there, but with the Ghost Grudge, just takes them down.
Well, that's my cardio for the week.
Oh my god, have you guys been seeing the memes? There's been so many memes about like Leon one-liners for like other universes of like shows or games. They've been killing me. I want to post one here, but maybe in a bit. But I've been loving all the Resident Evil memes. They're hilarious. If you have any good ones, definitely share them in the comments. I don't know if you can hear that, but my puppy in the background's making biscuits. Just kind of scratching up the pillows. So with this part, it's not too tough. The way we're going to route it is to try to avoid the girl as much as possible, because when testing here, she was very tanky. Like later on when we fight her for the final time, she only takes 2 shots, but here sometimes she like I shot her with the Magnum 4 times, I think one time even 5, and she just did not want to vent up. I'm not sure if it's because it's one of those cinematic parts, but it's like the first time you see her. But yeah, right there, just want to say we put away some items, we saved. In this upcoming area, I take out this zombie. You definitely don't want to do that. Because there's a empty med injector in there. Right there, I realized my mistake. I was like, whoops. But if you're trying to make like another steroid or a stabilizer, definitely just don't take out that zombie. Yeah, right here, whenever I shot at the girl there, for example, I shot her like 4 or 5 times just to see how tanky she is in this mode, but she just completely ignored my shots and then ended up actually grabbing me. So I was like, interesting. But then later on, whenever you fight her in the boss fight, she only takes 2 shots. So I'm not sure if it's only because she's kind of venting down. She just has iframes, but I think I do also end up shooting her multiple times in different areas whenever I was testing some stuff, and she was just tankier down here than she is in her final fight. Definitely make sure to pick up all the scrap that we see. Since we can make bottles with it, it's going to be very important for later on. I promise you, it's going to make the liquor sections a lot easier. Like, all this is an investment for that like last grace section, which I promise you, if you breeze through all this part without investing for that last part, even if you use a free heads needle, it is still very hard to do. So we want to make sure we have as many Molotovs, as many acid balls as we have. And that's also why we want to save as many blood bags as we have. Because there might be some sections where you might be low on ammo and you might need some blood. And if you use up all your blood bags in the very beginning, you won't have anything for the very end. We definitely don't want that to happen. Taking that guy down triggers a girl. As you can hear, she is really fast. Like, just even the sound she makes, it just sounds like she is zooming through. We're going to put this battery here first because we want to get the Molotov recipe. It will be very important later on. Very important that we can craft some cocktails. It's going to be very useful towards the end. Right here, before you close this up, if you want to save, I definitely recommend saving. I actually forgot to save right here. The only reason is because the girl spawns in the next room. And the way I play it, looking back at it, it's a little bit more on the reckless side. I remember taking a shot at her to get her attention, and she almost grabbed me. And I don't... even if it's like 5 minutes you know, it hasn't been too long since our last save. I don't want you to have to go back through that. We're gonna have a lot of materials, just a lot of blood on the ground already, and we have a lot of ink ribbon tins, so we can craft as many as we need. So even if you don't have the infinite ribbon, definitely go back and save. I definitely recommend it, because again, looking back at this, I remember I was gonna say just get her attention here. You could also just wait for her to finish her animation. Normally whenever I'm playing through the hardest difficulty, I'm so used to being on a time restraint, like, you know, in the professional modes, that, see, like right here, she almost grabs me, and I can't say for sure she doesn't one-shot you, but since it's on insanity, I'm just going to assume that even with 2 steroids, she maybe one-shots you. And I don't want you to lose out even on 5 minutes of your time. When I make these guides, I want to make sure that it goes as smooth as possible, that, like, if you're following along, you're able to do it with no problem. So yeah, definitely spend that time to save before there. So worst case scenario, even if she does grab you, you only miss out like on a minute. She also is scripted to come out here, and she gets actually pretty close. Like, as you're gonna see right here. You see like Grace dodged right there. I'm pretty sure you'll be able to dodge just fine too, but you know, when I just want to make sure nobody, you know, gets an unfortunate circumstance where they lose out on 5 minutes. If I rather you, worst case scenario, lose out on a minute and save just to feel safe, instead of, you know, you lose out on 5 minutes. But yeah, since we're not on a time restraint, take your time, take as many saves as you need. Yeah, like right here, I waited for it to vent up first before I save, just in case you go down in this next area. If you do have to go back to the save, you don't have to wait for her to, you know, walk off or do something, because every time you load up a previous save, if there's enemies close to you, they just stay there. I don't want you to have to deal with that, so make sure you wait till she goes up first. Then you can save. Then we're good to go on to the next area. The reason you see me put in the battery here first, we want to unlock this thing, because normally when you have both batteries, that zombie is scripted to be standing there, and whenever you take a shot at him, it will actually spawn the girl. And since she is very fast, we want to make sure we just have that battery ready to go, so whenever she comes in, she immediately gets stunned and you don't have to worry about that. Yeah, see, like now that we have that second battery, he's standing up. We do want to make sure we take him down. See, the girl instantly spawns. She is fast. Like, she like, she's already in here. So like those few seconds can actually have her, it can be the difference between her being close to you and her being at the door, or, you know, and getting stunned. So it's definitely better to play it that way. We do not want to risk her grabbing us. But yeah, so far easy peasy. Hasn't been too tough. Still have a lot of healing items. I also recommend that if you're in a certain area and you end up healing like 5 times in a row or something, if you're like not too far from the last save, I definitely recommend reloading a save so you have as many healing items as you may possibly need. I mean, we have a lot of healing items on us right now, but sometimes there might be areas where the zombies just kind of grab you back to back to back. We do always want to clear them out first, but just in case something happens, if you're not too far from back a save, I mean, it's definitely worth loading up a save and then saving those healing items. Because yeah, we try to save as often as we can. Get some more blood here. And we're going to head back. There's a jump scare coming up here. I know I have some viewers that have never played Resident Evil and it's probably their first time watching this. I don't want you to get jump scared, so it's about to happen. I know some people sometimes just, they say they watch my videos to kind of just chill and relax. I don't want it to be the, you know, you're chilling and relaxing and then just so this loud scream happens, you're like, oh my god, and then it wakes you up, you know what I mean? Also, I took a shot at her there. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't make her go away faster. Here we just make an injector. Like at this point, like I said, I don't want to touch into our blood inventory bags. So I craft, you know, things preemptively so we can make use of all the blood that's on the ground. Gonna get both the batteries. I believe there's a scrap I missed over here. Yep. Remember, they can make bottles with these. So you want to pick up all the scrap that you can. But there I just make another injector. Right here, again, I want to make sure we save. Here I just make some more green herbs. If you have a lot of extra blood, you can also just make med injectors since they fully heal you. But since we're looking good on heals right now, I just make the double mix herb thing. Put away one of the ink ribbons. And we're going to save. Also right here, I saved to kind of show an example of like whenever you save and you reload. If the girl is outside, she will still be there, but thankfully she went up into the vent, so we didn't have to wait that long. But if you feel more comfortable, just wait a few seconds and then she'll go up into the vent. Take her down. Get some more blood. Yeah, if you want to spend your time crafting some stuff while there's a lot of blood on the ground, definitely do that. Again, remember, no time restraints. We're going to take him down. And even if we have infinite ammo, we want to play this a little bit differently because, again, we're in a tight room. The girl is not going to give us any space at all to just freely shoot at her like multiple times to actually stun her. So right here, I actually try to bring her attention because I try to test it. It's a very, very tight window to get enough shots off on her because, again, in the final boss fight, she only takes 2. But here, I believe I shot her 3 or 4 times before she decides to go up. And since it's too tight to reliably say, like, hey, you can do this, I think it's way better to just safely bring her out here first. I can't see her at all because it's so dark. And even looking back. Yeah, right here, I'm just like, what are you doing? Yeah, right there, I'm like, okay. She did not want to come in through here. I don't know if she's just scripted not to pass through here or something. But she just was not having it. But once we took a shot at her, she finally decided to come right there. She got very close. As you can hear the swings. Just goes to show you how fast she is. So she can catch up to you. I have learned from my comment section that you are faster in third person. I think just slightly. But enough to where you are able to outrun her. So I don't want to confidently say that you can outrun her in first person. In case you can't, it's definitely way better to play it like this than just bring her outside. Don't try to take a lot of shots at her in here because the room is so tight. She will catch up to you and she will grab you. And she will do a lot of damage. If not one shot you. Depending on whether you invest in steroids or stabilizers. So we got some of that blood. Put the battery in there. There's some scrap over here. Again, we don't need the lockpicks because there's this rare metal and that's used for magnum shots. So we don't really need that. And don't worry, we're close to another save. Once we get up this area is not too dangerous. We're just dealing with a few zombies. When these guys, they can actually grab you if you run past them. Don't worry, they don't do any damage. They're just kind of there to jump scare you. And yeah, we want to get as much blood as we can without having to go through our blood bags. Right here that I showed, I'm still full health. And I let one of these guys grab me to kind of show that they don't do any damage. Even on insanity, they're just kind of meant to jump scare you. Yeah, see, like, they'll kind of grab you, try to give you a scare. And we're still full health. There's a knife over here. Knives are very important because you can turn them into scrap, which can be turned into bottles. And also just in case you get grabbed. They do mitigate a lot of damage. You can just skip that enemy. I mean, if you feel more comfortable taking them down before you go tier, completely do so. Don't forget this green herb. And we're going to save. This next part is not too bad. It's a little tight, but thankfully there's no blister heads, at least from what I've seen. So it makes it not too difficult to deal with the zombies here. They can be a little bit quick, especially since there's moments where a couple zombies can stand up at the same time. That's when it gets a little bit dangerous. Like, again, the only time I feel like you will be in trouble in this run is mainly in areas where a lot of zombies are able to pile up on you, because we don't have that much ammo in the... Well, we have infinite ammo, but what I mean to say is that we only have 5 bullets with the Magnum. So sometimes if you miss a shot or two and there's like 3 zombies around you, they can quickly get a hold of you, especially if there's a Crimson Head in there. But with the Magnum being so strong, you can pretty much take down anybody before they even get up, so makes this part not too bad. Just like that. It's just too fun to use this weapon. Oh my god, I'm still a little bit sick, so hopefully hopefully the videos haven't sounded too scuffed. But having kind of like a giant throat. I also get allergies around this time. I don't know why the Magnum is so funny. The way it just it just sends people flying. It's so fun to use. Yeah, if you're new to Resident Evil and this is your first time watching a Resident Evil game, these enemies normally, whenever you have a weaker pistol, they take a lot to go down. And on Insanity, I'm trying to remember. I feel like whenever I shot at some zombies, like they take 10 shots sometimes. Unless, you know, if you're able to shoot them in the head with precise shots. But good luck trying to get them to not close the gap between you and them at that time, because they will catch up to you. But not too bad.
Stopped. Finally stopped.
There was a Molotov there that you should get, because they're very good against the enemies towards the end.
Last one.
And with that, that's the final battery.
Out of this place.
So yeah, we're breezing through this. Again, we're trying to approach things in a way where we're able to make it go by quick, but also not leave things behind and not take too much damage where we just end the game with no healing items. I mean, that's kind of why we want to craft as much things as we can with blood that's on the ground. Like in this area, for example, if you drain this pool, you can actually get a lot of blood from it.
Oh, I got in my mouth.
And I remember people asking me if they can do the final puzzle. You know, I wouldn't do it if you're doing your speed run. Like if you're following my previous video or you're just doing a speed run in general. While I guess you can technically do the final puzzle, since you have to wait 15 minutes for the bags to go down, it's a huge chunk of time to sacrifice. So if you're planning to do another run after this, because the final puzzle gives you like 20,000 points, which if you're on your Insanity run and this is the last achievement and you're just trying to do full completionist, you'll have to do another run after this, but you can do it here because remember, we're on no time constraint. And as you saw before I got in here to pick up the blood, I crafted some items. Yeah, I definitely recommend making some Molotovs, because they'll help out clearing like those final enemies that we see at the end of the game. But also leave enough scrap to where you can make some bottles. So we can make some acid. You'll see at the end. Also, there will be a jump scare coming up here soon. Well, it's not really a jump scare. It's just that the girl kind of drops down. And my first couple of playthroughs, literally this was the worst one for me. Just because it's so unexpected. You pick up this battery, you can actually avoid the girl. Like, you hear her back there. But whenever you get this battery, kind of hug the right side. Because, yeah, she, as you can see, you kind of hurt her in the back. But once you pick up that battery, she's, like, right there. And that one was, like, the heart dropper for me. That one got me so bad my first time. My first couple of times. Like, I forgot the second time and the third time. And here I was going to save before we get the last battery. And to also put away some items. So at this point, I mean, we've been stocking up a lot. We have not had to go through our blood bags. And I wanted to craft some extra ink ribbons in case you need it. Do another save since this next part we just have to dodge some zombies. But yeah, just in case you get grabbed or hurt, you don't have to go all the way back to before the that, like, I don't even know what they call it, the processing part. Yeah, definitely don't want you to have to go through that again in case you do get grabbed here. Gonna grab some blood. And see right here, normally that zombie would push that door down and we could have gotten another empty med injector. So definitely don't do what I did there. Definitely let the zombie take it down, because at that point, I mean, you can just one-shot him afterwards. Yeah, right here. I mean, this part isn't too hard to avoid zombies, but with so many different situations, and if even, you know, like 50 people watch this, for example, assuming one person gets grabbed here, I don't want you to, you know, go all the way back. That'd be very unfortunate.
It's just spitting you down.
This part still always scares me because it just always feels so close. I don't know why. This is definitely a very tense part.
Grace? Are you hurt? I'm okay. That's good. Good, Emily.
There will be a mini jump scare coming up here in a second. Okay, maybe 2 seconds. Okay, there was a little bit delayed. Don't worry, I think if she scratches you here, it doesn't do too much damage. Definitely nothing like a one-shot or anything you have to worry about. I mean, unless you just... Actually, I don't even know if you can fail the game there. I'm not sure.
Do you maybe want to leave with me? It's not safe here. Okay.
But yeah, in case there is anything you want to go back and pick up,
We made it.
you can put Emily down at the same couch from next to the save station.
Are you alright?
And you can go back and collect anything that you might need. Because I know there's still like a lot of blood areas. Like the blood in the bathtub has like 100. There's definitely a lot of zombies that we left behind.
It's just...
But I think with all the items we made, I made more than enough stuff to where you should have a lot for the lab part. And this upcoming part, not too bad as well. There's a lot of zombies, but they still take the same amount of damage from that like spray bottle thing. You know what's crazy? I'm just now seeing that said that they got this bottle from
Just let it be in here.
Dimitrescu Castle. I didn't even know that. That's actually kind of crazy. I did not notice that, like, the couple playthroughs that I've had of this game. Oh, so did y'all see the carpet? No. Well, I guess we'll never see the carpet. Yeah, don't save. I remember in my last video, I actually saved here and then walked all this and then saved again. Definitely want to not waste your ink ribbons if you don't have the infinite ribbon. Plus, I mean, you don't even really need to save there. There's no danger here right now. We just have to walk all the way up here, get the helicopter keys. Then it'll start the, like, shutdown sequence where we need to run out of here. That's definitely the way better save. And they give us an ink ribbon. Also, what was Gideon doing that there's just that dirty table right there? Yeah, this is definitely way better to save. Since it's right here, it does a full loop. As you can see, I've been definitely grinding out the game a bit. Been loving it. Right here, you could just use the Magnum. But I mean, this thing just does way better at crowd control. Because again, whenever there's a bunch of... Oh, that guy got way too close. But whenever there's a lot of enemies at this difficulty, since they can quickly grab a hold of you, it's way better to use crowd control stuff like this.
Please work.
Because even if the Magnum can penetrate, you don't want to take risks. Because even if our last save was not even a minute ago, it's still just... I want to make sure whenever you play through this, you know, the only times that may be harder, like the actual parts we cannot avoid, kind of like some of the boss fights. But even then, I mean, at this point, if you've done multiple playthroughs, you're probably pretty familiar with the boss fights. And even then, I'll show you how to make them a lot easier. This is kind of the way we have to approach them. And when I put, you know, when I say approach, it just needs a little bit of finesse. And when I say finesse, I mean you have to be a pro runner. You know, dodge. You have to like run away from them a little bit. But there's nothing to worry about here, even if we're on insanity. I don't even know if, I'm sure somebody's tested it, but I think you can literally stay here for quite a bit before the place even explodes, and I mean, you'll still be fine. And here there's a room full of the Crimson Heads. I mean, they're all transforming, so it's not too much to worry about. But you definitely want to get out of here before they finish transforming, because they will quickly grab you. And funny enough, at this difficulty, there's actually a Crimson Head that they randomly put over here that you have to watch out for. Should be right around here. Yep, right there. Do not let him grab you, because he will do a lot of damage. Also, watch out for a barrel that's going to be on the right side here. I almost forgot. Funny enough, yeah, this is how I learned that you are way faster in third person. Because if you do this part in first person, it's noticeably slower. But in third person, the way Grace kind of sprints, it's actually pretty fast compared to just first person running. But first person also has a lot of benefits. Like, you're actually able to kind of run past some enemies a lot easier in first person. But overall, I'd say the way we play the game, I mean, it should be able to work both in third and first person. There's like a lot of skips that you can do in first person, or even in third person, where if you set your FPS down to like 30, you can squeeze past some people. But whenever I make guide videos, I try to make it to where you don't have to do a bunch of setting changes or,
Grace is still here.
you know, do any bugs or glitches. I just want you to be able to just kind of watch the video, kind of try to follow along.
Connected to this somehow.
Make sure you grab this tracker.
No.
And here we're actually going to get the sniper rifle. Should have a good amount of money at this point too. Gonna get the marksman here. I normally like the classic one a lot better. But with this one, since we have infinite ammo, we can just kind of spam it. Which makes it really good. And as you can see, we also kind of upgraded the damage. You don't actually have to help Grace right there. You can just go to the next room. But before we do that, we're going to take out this enemy because he can turn into a Crimson Head. Pick up that large gunpowder. And also just completely destroy that guy. Oh, so you can use a scope on your weapon too. But if you have the BSAA charm, I don't have any charms equipped, but it does do a lot more damage, so I would definitely equip it. I just sometimes like to test out like what I may be able to work with whenever I do my insanity run. So I was trying to see, I was like, okay, if this is kind of like the bearish minimum, then anything people use on top of that will only be even better, which I assume people are going to be using charms and a scope and stuff like that. So hopefully it even feels a lot easier than this. I mean, yeah, we're just taking down the enemies. And that's why I like this sniper rifle too. Whereas the classic does do a lot more damage. Since you can spam this one, I didn't know how fast the zombie... Like this zombie right there. Like he actually caught me off guard with how fast he was walking over there. But I'm assuming if you explored the game, you probably have the BSAA emblem. Or charm, I mean. I believe it does 50% more damage. Maybe I'm overestimating. But it does a significant amount more. So just slap that on, and you'll be doing even more damage here. Than you see here. Yeah, see here, you can just spam him. He goes down. But as you can see, the zombies are pretty quick. I mean, they got pretty close to Grace right there. And that's another thing too, why we take down those zombies behind us. Yeah, that zombie actually grabbed the Grace, but she didn't take any damage. But that's why we take down the zombies up here. If you don't, they can catch you off guard and then send you back. There's an autosave here though. Oh, that's another thing too here. Here you see me shooting some of these zombies on the ground. The main reason... that part's always funny. The main reason we shoot the zombies on the ground is because some of them pretend... You know, that they're just like, oh, don't mind me, I'm just laying down here. Yeah, no, we can't trust them. Even if you take them down, just make sure first. As you can see, there's a lot of them playing dead. They will grab you and take a good chunk of your health. That's the thing, like even zombies on the ground, and since we don't have any armor yet, we've invested more into the power of our weapons. We do not want to get grabbed. Here, take out the ghost grunge. As you can see, it does a lot of damage. I mean, it just takes down those bubbles really fast. I kind of like to play up here to give myself a lot of space, but do you see how this is what I meant whenever I was like that tripping thing that they do? They're definitely input reading. So anytime you aim at them, they do that, and then they run towards you. They will grab you and they will do a ton of damage. But we played this safe, and remember, since we're not playing as Grace, we do have autosave. So worst case scenario, you go back to, I believe, the entrance of the church. But the Ghost Grunge does very well here, especially against the blob guy. Oh my god, right here, I was trying to run, I almost forgot. Pick up the grenade. I don't even know if I got it. But if you do take down all the enemies, there's a meta ejector there and a grenade. I don't think I had enough time to pick up the grenade, but Make sure you get that. Don't get distracted like I was.
There's gotta be a way to get to the surface.
So this is the last time we're gonna have the Magnum as Grace. The girl does take 2 shots here versus 1 shot on the other difficulties, but we want to save the Molotovs here. Definitely save it for the end. Since we're giving the Magnum away back to Leon anyways, we want to make sure that
Sorry, I know it hurts.
we make the most use of it here.
I'm so sorry.
The lights, that light we just passed, they still pretty much one-shot the girl. Well, when I say one-shot, I mean it kind of resets her position. So it's still very effective. You don't have to like turn it on twice to like stun or anything. It's still one time. Do another save. And time to take down the girl. If you are doing a no infinite ammo, one thing that I learned is that you can actually save a lot of ammo here for Leon. Since any ammo that you don't use here
Gotta get the power.
gets transferred over to Leon. So I'm just saying that you can use the light to stun her and just save all the Magnum shots here. It does require you to run a lot more, but it's definitely doable. But as you can see here, down here, she only takes 2 shots to stun. But when you do pull on this lever, make sure you get this cocktail. When you do pull this lever, she's still going to drop down. So we're going to have to stun her again.
Why is it so stiff? Stop. Just die already.
Give her a stun. I know it's going to look scary, but you're going to have more than enough time. Boom. Make sure you wait for her to go first, because if you try to run past her,
2 to go.
even if she's technically stunned, she will still kind of like run you over basically and do a good amount of damage. So we don't want to do that. So just let her go first. Next, we're going to do this part, which it's always scripted. You know, in case it's your first time watching, there's not much you can do here. She always grabs you. But just like the other times, gonna shoot her twice, and it'll stun her.
What the fuck? Give me a break.
And thankfully, this lever's not like the other one. As soon as you put it in, this goes on. There's nothing, you know, when it comes to insanity, at least for this part, there's nothing too tricky. They don't try to pull any fast ones on you. Just mainly that she's a lot faster and just way tankier than in normal difficulties.
Close one.
Here we're just stunning her because, yeah, she's just waiting for you over here. As you can see, she also gets unstunned very fast. Normally she's scripted to like blow down those barrels right there and jump scare you.
Power has been successfully restored.
So we just stun her there just so she doesn't get to do that. But that's also why that light is there too.
They should open the hatch. I need to hurry.
Also, somebody told me in the comments section, I haven't been able to test it yet, but I will be testing it for my no infinite ammo one. Apparently for this part, you don't even need to shoot the girl. You can just run towards Emily.
We're getting out of here. Get out of the fucking way.
So we can stun her with this. But apparently here, once you open this,
Come on.
you can just run towards Emily's room. You don't even need to shoot her there. So if you're doing a no infinite ammo run, I mean,
Finally.
yep, you can save some precious ammo just running over here. Right here, Leon always ends up shooting. I was curious. I was like, if you shoot her anywhere, does it go skip the cutscene? It doesn't. Yeah, like right there, Leon just shoots her by herself. I did not. I remember my first playthrough. I was just like, no way they made me do that. That wasn't me. That was Capcom. You know, I was so sad. But thankfully, don't worry, Emily. I mean, spoilers. We do end up saving Emily. And now for Leon's part. Again, for the areas that are open, they're not too bad, but there's some areas where there's a lot of enemies. So we have to play a little bit careful. Collected more money at this point. We can start investing into body armor so we can have some breathing room. Don't have to worry about getting fully one-shotted at this point. We should be able to take a good amount of hits. I register my Magnum to the very top since that's what we're going to be using the most. The Ghost Grunge and then the Magnum combo, it's going to be your best friend for this run.
Looks like time stopped here.
They're both very good. The only downside is that they don't carry that much in the chamber. So you have to approach fights kind of slow. Because it's like in any game, I mean, singular enemies, or even, you know, 2 enemies here and there, and it's not too bad. It's whenever there's a lot of them. If you're caught with no, you know, ammo in the chamber, it can go very bad. So I want to make sure that's not something you have to go through. So when I said you can use an RPG for any of the bosses, since our first boss fight's going to be here, I don't recommend using it on the spider since it's not too hard of a boss fight. Unlike the other boss fights we're going to be doing, this is the only one that's not super close quarters. Well, it is close quarters, but it's nothing like, you know, Mr. X where he's always up in your face. Same thing with Gideon. Gideon's always up in your face. And Hunk. At least the spider kind of gives you some breathing room. And with the gas tanks all over the place, it still stuns him whenever you throw it at him. So it makes it very useful. So when it goes to boss fights from least hardest to hardest, this one's definitely the least hardest, but it can still be pretty tough. And just like anything else in the game, we don't want to get grabbed. We don't want to get hit because even with the armor, they do a pretty good chunk of your armor. And once you lose your armor, I mean, you're back to most things can one-shot you territory. So we want to keep our armor intact as long as we can. Make sure you have your shotgun here for the little spiders. I don't know why they're kind of cute. It always looks like when they put their legs up like that, it kind of looks like they want to be picked up. Kind of like when I arrive home and I see my dogs. They do the same thing. You know, I guess these spiders are kind of the same size as dogs. You know, small dogs. It's funny, sometimes like you run past them and they don't really do anything. They do on Insanity. But maybe they just want to get picked up. Who knows? Definitely watch out. You can avoid that hit right there if you kind of just juke it out like that. Because we want to make sure we go in here with all the armor we have. Here, just do as much pre-damage as you can before she's on the ground. We don't need what's in that box because I don't think it's ever a healing item. I think it's always just ammo. We want to lead her to this. It'll stun her. And just put all the shots we can into this weak spot. Switch to the Ghost Grunge.
Haven't you had enough?
She wants nothing to do with both of these magnums. She's just like running away. She's like, okay. I did not know Leon had it like that. Just back-to-back magnums. But yeah, at this point, she's pretty much almost down. You can definitely one-cycle her, like, after you throw the gas tank at her. I was just kind of spamming shots. But the Ghost Grunge and the other Magnum, I mean, they just put in a lot of work in these areas. But yeah, she's definitely the easiest boss fight. The next one will be Mr. X. He's definitely a lot tougher. But again, if you have the RPG, you know, you can just take him down with that. It's a huge time save as well. Definitely be careful in these upcoming areas because a lot of enemies do start spawning. Not in this area, but like in the area after we turn on the generator. But again, thankfully we have a lot of safe spots, so if you do go down, it's okay, it's no problem.
Whose camp is this?
It's our camp now. All it's missing is La Campana. Here I actually save a little bit too early. I normally like to upgrade stuff first and then save. I think at this point though it's getting really late into the night. But yeah, here we're just going to be upgrading some of our items. And if you do have all the Racoon statues, I mean, you can upgrade everything to level 3. But as you're going to see, even with taking down a lot of the zombies, everything is really expensive. So I try to upgrade everything at least to like level 2. Same thing with the Magnum. I don't believe the Ghost Grunge can be upgraded at all. I think you can put a charm on it, but with how strong it is, I mean, it's still fine. The main Magnum is still the strongest. And we can upgrade it, which makes it a lot better.
Strange.
So with here, this is kind of like the beginning of like where enemies can be very frequent. And I play this in a way where I try to avoid putting you in situations where, you know, you have to deal with a lot of them. So the way we're going to play this right here is we're going to spawn the zombies in. But the first thing we want to do, once you walk here, first thing you want to do is just take down this guy right here. Because he's one of the zombies that... yeah, do you hear that in the background? That's another one of them. They kind of just start spamming everywhere. And since up until this point, we haven't taken any damage. I just kind of want to play a little bit back. Definitely let them all come to you. And also for that one zombie up there that we did shoot down, if you want to just wait until you take down all the zombies here first, definitely do that. The reason we want to lead them all to us is because when you're dealing with a lot of zombies, they can speed up. Yeah, do you see this, for example, what that guy just did? They do this tripping animation, like what this guy also just did. When it's far away, it's not too bad. It can be a little tough to hit, but it's a big deal whenever they're close to you because then they'll grab you. And then the other zombies behind them are able to catch up. And that's when it becomes a big deal. Like so far, hopefully, the way we've been playing it goes as easy for you. But again, the reason also it looks so easy is because we're playing so far back and we have infinite ammo. But we don't want to underestimate the zombies at all because when there's a lot of them, when they're grouped up like this, they can definitely do a lot of stuff. Especially zombies like this one that carry items. You know, you have one zombie tripping towards you. You have another one that throws an axe at you or whatever that thing they get from the ground is. It can just compound very easily. And again, you miss a shot or two with your magnums and you get caught reloading. They get even closer. Right here, I try to see if I can destroy the box to take down the two zombies here. But yeah, as you can see, they instantly start swinging. They get really close to us sometimes. But thankfully, there's just two of them. I missed a green herb behind me. Definitely grab that because I want to make sure you have as much healing items as you can. Because since Leon does have to fight the bosses, I want to make sure that you feel super looted by the time we get there. But we are using this time now that since the zombies have kind of calmed down. They're coming one by one. Why don't I just spend this time farming some credits? Because yeah, upgrading the weapons are very expensive. Like right now we have 26,000 with all the zombies that we took down, which seems like a lot, but when it comes to upgrading, especially the Magnum, it costs like 10, 15,000, sometimes even more to upgrade just one part of it. But thankfully, you know, we're doing good. Hopefully up until this point, you're also doing good. We're like, what, 2 hours in? We're more than halfway there. A little bit.
They should have. There should be a part for the detonator somewhere around here.
But yeah, big advice. Like I said, I can't stress it enough. Do not let the zombies, you know, pile up on you. Definitely give yourself some space. Give yourself a lot of breathing room. Again, no time restraint. I feel like in Resident Evil 4, we did a lot of tactical feeding, you know, where sometimes we just had to run past some enemies and just use some heals, because sometimes that was even more worth than just wasting a lot of ammo. It's definitely way better to save it for some bosses.
The location for those parts.
Whereas here, since we have infinite ammo, we can take it. It's chill.
I'll look into the BSAA in the meantime.
Just definitely don't want to, you know, let the zombies pile up on us. But with that down, do another save. And head down to the apartments. This is another area where both of the batteries that we have to get also revolve around zombies that there can just be a lot happening. And the thing is, with both areas, there's not too much breathing. Well, actually, there's enough breathing room with the water part. The other one where you have to deal with the boil guy, definitely a lot tighter. Yeah, make sure you take down this guy. Yeah, see, we do not... I want to make sure you never have to deal with the Crimson Heads, like, unless they get lucky and they get up, like, for example, with the boil guys, whenever they do their little scream attack or you take down one of their boils, it causes other Crimson Heads to come up. I want to make sure you don't have to deal with that at all. Sometimes it might get a little too tight, but, like, for example, here, do you see how he's also turning into a Crimson Head? They can just be very dangerous because once they stand up and they're done transforming, they do that thing that we saw earlier where they do their tripping animation. They're super fast. And even if you have infinite ammo, since they input read and just dodge your attacks, we want to make sure our armor is like intact, because we can fix up our armor anytime, but then that revolves you spending credits that we want to save for upgrades, and you don't want to keep going back and forth. And the thing is, if your armor does go fully down, you're back into that one-shot territory where if enemies just grab you, you're just going to get one-shotted. So we're playing careful, but at the same time, I feel like we're doing a good job at keeping the pace up. Hope you've been just, you know, enjoying the video. If you're following along, hopefully it's going good with you as well. Don't worry, we got this. I'm also standing here because, as you can see, that enemy up here, he'll throw stuff. So it's a good place to stand so you can avoid that. And as you can see, another Crimson Head. I mean, there's a lot of Crimson Heads here. They just pop like balloons. Yeah, thankfully they allow us to take them down before they transform, because otherwise that would be a nightmare. But that's one battery down. We're at 50,000 credits. We're looking good. There's loot around this area. I can't think off the top of my head if there's any grenades here. We do end up having a lot of grenades towards the end. So the main thing you want to get is large gunpowder, which I do know for a fact. There is large gunpowder down there in a huge chest. I'm sure you guys know which one I'm talking about. If you've looted this area, definitely grab that. There's a lot of large gunpowder that I've missed. We still end up having a lot of grenades, but just in case you need more, because, you know, accidents happen. You might accidentally throw a grenade. Like over there, there's definitely another large gunpowder. But it wasn't towards, like, you know, it wasn't until I got towards the end, I mean, where I realized, Like, yes, we have a lot of grenades, but wow, I could have made sure you guys had like infinite amounts. Okay, that's that's a little bit of an exaggeration, but you know what I mean. Like where you're just so stockpiled up where you just feel like you just have so much. Especially since they're not too out of the way. Like that large gunpowder that was in that box over there, it definitely was not going to take long to get it. Now right here, we're just taking down these enemies, preferably headshot because they can turn into crimson heads. And this guy over here, I mean, you know how the boil heads are. Are they like regenerators or boils? I don't even know what they're called, but they kind of sound like the T-Rex from Jurassic Park, right? Okay, maybe not right there, but I swear he makes like a T-Rex sound sometimes. Yeah, do you see how fast the blister heads are? Like they just completely just stun every enemy. I mean, they're super useful and we want to save them just in case we need them. Like right there, that crimson head probably could have just closed a gap between us. Right there, I actually waste a grenade because normally I like to throw a grenade to stun this foil guy. But he actually turned his back towards us. He said, you know what, I'm going to help you out. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Even though it's a little bit too late because we wasted a grenade there, but it's all good. But yeah, this section was not too bad. I mean, hopefully it goes the same with you. Like, again, if you approach it a little bit slowly, like, don't try to kind of just bum rush the wheel right there. Take down the other zombies. Make sure you headshot them so they aren't able to turn to crimson heads because you already have to deal with one along with the boil guy. And if he turns those 3 zombies behind us into crimson heads, if you don't headshot them, that can be a very big problem. But yeah, that's why I kind of just keep reminding. I know I've said it a bunch of times already, but I really just want to make sure that when you're getting this achievement, it goes as smooth as possible and, you know, as stress-free as possible. I mean, obviously we're gonna have to deal with some harder bosses, but hopefully, you know, when it comes to areas like this, you don't have to go back at all and, you know, restart checkpoint or anything. But with that, I mean, we're done with this part. So breezing through it, while at the same time, you know, gathering as much credits as we can to upgrade our main Magnum. Also, what do y'all think is the hardest Resident Evil in y'all's opinion? I know everybody, you know, stuff like that, it's kind of everyone's experience is different, but what do y'all think is the hardest Resident Evil? I'm interested in hearing because I know a lot of people, some people say Resident Evil 8 Village of Shadows, other people it's Madhouse. For some people it's professional mode on Resident Evil 4. Let me know in the comment section. Because I'm curious to know, or like Inferno in Resident Evil 3 Remake, I know a lot of people found that like last boss fight really hard, and even the other Nemesis fights are pretty hard. But yeah, now that we got that BSA container key, it reminds me that right here, I end up actually doing the gas station first. But if you want to save, definitely save. You know, we have an autosave not too far back from here. So if you do, you know, end up failing this gas station part, it's not too much of a big deal. It'll be okay because there is a, you know, there's a bunch of autosaves, especially like right here, top left, autosave here. So if you do go down here, you won't go too far back, but in case you need to repair your armor or you want to upgrade some stuff, definitely just drop the bridge and go save. Take down that enemy. He'll get you. And like again, we don't want to we don't want to give any free armor to any enemies. Make sure you get that herb. I'm pretty sure that one's always an herb. From what I remember, every single time it's been an herb. But after we grab the gas can, enemies are going to start spawning. And again, since we're dealing with a lot of them, we want to keep our distance. You don't need the chainsaw because the Magnum is just way better. And take down that enemy. Yeah, we're going to play very back here because, again, when you're dealing with a lot of them, they close that gap and they can catch up to you. That one enemy always tries to sneak up behind you, so make sure you take him out. But yeah, just kind of chill in here, let them come to you. Just absolutely destroy them. It's like a line. They're like, I'm next, me. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that enemy right there. He's so far back. But we got him. And we're doing good. We're almost at 100,000 credits. Yeah, as you can see, I try to clear out everything. I want to make sure that anybody that watches this has a smooth experience. And as you can see, this guy is so tanky. Like, that took the entire round from both of them. I'm not sure. Like, he has a helmet on, so I don't even know if headshots do anything to him. I definitely have to try that out. Lay out that down. We fill up the gas. And hopefully it's going as well for you as it is here. It is always interesting seeing all the different perspectives that people give.
All right.
Because you learn something new for any time you make another video. Although for Resident Evil 9, at least until the DLC, the only video left is just the no infinite ammo. I'd be very surprised if if a lot of people use that as a guide. But then again, I mean, whenever I made a no bonus weapons for Resident Evil 4 Remake, a lot of people seem to like it. But with this mode, I mean, it's tough. And if you're just going for the achievement, I mean, once you have the achievement, anything else besides that are just kind of like challenge runs, which are so fun to do. I mean, I love to do challenge runs. I'm actually excited to do the no infinite one. Yeah, watch out with these Crimson Heads. We don't want them to catch up to us. So get them while they're unaware. Here, this is a loot area where there is some stacked grenades here, so we definitely want to grab that. But yeah, before you do the gas station part, if you want to save and upgrade your, or not upgrade, fix your vest, in case you've taken damage, definitely do that. But yeah, make sure you always keep your armor topped off. It's kind of like, again, like Resident Evil 4 Remake. Anytime you lose that armor, definitely top it off because it protects you so much. I mean, it's literally what helps you not get one-shotted. Because in this difficulty, yeah, if they grab you once, you get one-shotted. Don't want that happening. Anytime you can go back to the save station and upgrade your armor or fix it, definitely do it. So upgraded that. Gonna upgrade that. But yeah, with that down, I mean, as you can see, all our weapons are pretty much topped off except the Magnum. But yeah, look how expensive it all is. I mean, we had like more than 100k and now we're broke. And we still need to upgrade the hatchet and the Magnum all the way. But with that, gonna do another save. Gonna finish up these areas. We're on good pace. There's a lot of loot areas that I don't go to. So we won't be exploring them here, but as long as you keep your distance with enemies, if there's anything that you missed, definitely go and get it. I mean, if you're missing the achievement for opening all the crates, you can definitely do that even on Insanity. As long as you have, you know, your infinite ammo. I would definitely not recommend doing it in a normal run, although I don't want to say that for sure because I haven't gone to this part in my Insanity no infinite ammo. So if it does look like it's worth it, you know, we might go out of our way to get some stuff, but we'll see. But in case you don't have the BSAA charm, definitely make sure you get it. It's around here. In this video, we're actually going to get the cute charm and these sunglasses. Yeah, watch out for that enemy. And watch out for this enemy down here. See, as soon as we drop down here, we want to take down this guy because they can just melt your armor off with the submachine gun. And watch out for, yeah, these guys too. Don't underestimate how fast it can just completely destroy your armor. And once your armor is off, if they do another swing at you, you will lose all your health. I cannot stress it enough that I want to make sure that's not something you have to deal with. So that's why I kind of just try to show you here. But as long as you play it safe, I mean, we take him down easily. We'll be good. There will be an enemy up here with a grenade. Make sure you watch out. Try to pull a fast one on us. Don't think so, buddy. Slowly getting the credits back up so we can top off those last things. So we definitely want to upgrade the hatchet for the hunk fight. But since we don't really need to focus on that right now and it's pretty expensive, that's why we're waiting to do that last.
One of the parts should be just
We don't need the items that are in there, but again, I want you to play the game how you want. If you want to go through there, you can feel confident as long as you keep your distance because there's a lot of enemies down there. I like how it like forces your camera to like look up there even if there's nobody up there. That looked so close that I'm actually surprised it didn't do any damage to us. Got another meta injector. I mean, at this point, we've stockpiled a good amount of them. We should be good. Also, something I didn't know. You see the way Leon's hunched here? Apparently, whenever he gets the cure at the end, it actually fixes his posture. I just learned that today. That's a pretty cool detail. Watch out with this enemy up here. I don't remember. I think he ends up dodging one of my attacks. Oh no, yeah, he gets really close. I'm also surprised right there that we somehow didn't take any damage. And again, the reason I wasn't using the Magnum there, like when I was using the shotgun earlier at the very first part, I was trying to see how much damage it does. So when I do come here on the no infinite ammo run, I just wanted to see what I was going to be working with. Because obviously we don't want to waste our Magnum shots on these enemies. And yeah, I'm learning that, yeah, they're pretty tanky. Although I'm sure I just need to focus more on headshots. But using this thing here definitely clears out the enemies a lot faster, so we love using that. I'm not sure how this guy got past us. Sneaky guy. And he dodged my shot. We got him. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Oh yeah, I didn't grab the repair kit that's at the first camp, even though we have the key for it. Here I normally like to use the rocket launcher back there to take down these enemies, but since we have the bazooka, I mean, it just deals with them fast. But we are farming up credits. I mean, we had nothing and now we're back at like 35k. Yeah, doing good. Plus it's so fun to use. Like, again, you earned this, you know, enjoy it. Especially if, like, I know a lot of people, whenever they wrap up their achievements, they always do the hard difficulty last. So if you are wrapping up your achievements here, I mean, what better way to enjoy it? I know some people like to do the challenge run, but if you like to do it in infinite ammo, I mean, as you can see, I've been having a lot of fun.
At least what's
So
left of it.
I hope you're having a lot of fun doing it as well.
By the way, I found some evidence of the Pentagon putting pressure on the BSAA. It appears the North American
Grab that.
branch has been moving independently.
Heard they had an internal dispute. Think it's related?
That's all I've got. There's been an increase in government surveillance. Looks like my fan base is growing.
Some things never change. Watch your back. I'll contact you again soon.
Right here, I remember my puppy was messing with my... He likes to mess with the cords on my computer. Thankfully, he doesn't like to bite them. He kind of just like paws at them. I think he just wants to get my attention. So I end up not grabbing the stacked grenades here. Yeah, watch out for this enemy right here. He tries to pull a fast one and you sneak up behind you. Yeah, right there. I think I was just not paying attention. Because I was like, hey, stop messing with that. Yeah, right here I try to spawn in the enemies so I can keep the distance. Especially with that enemy right there. I mean, you definitely want to keep your distance with him because even if he's by himself, for example, when he does that swing attack, it just melts a lot. And down that hatch kind of leads to a different area where there's some loot. But again, since we're doing good, I wanted to keep a balance between not taking too much time, but also making sure we grab a lot of resources where you're going to feel very kitted up. And then for Leon's case, I mean, the main thing is just having grenades to help a lot with the crowd control at the very end, with especially with the liquor part. I'm sure you guys know which part I'm talking about. So we're going to save. Finishing up with this area, we just have one more part to go. But yeah, make sure y'all tell me anything y'all learn in y'all's runs. Anything helps. I mean, I always appreciate it. It's helped out not only me, but so many other people that have gone for these achievements. And even though I feel like the majority of people who are following this guide are going to use this to get the platinum, I know there's going to be some people that are going to do the no infinite ammo run to get the platinum, which again, whichever way you like to play it, do whichever one you want. But that one will help me out a lot because I can just tell, like I said earlier, the zombies are going to come at me with the vengeance. They're going to be like, I don't know what that's called in English, you know, but like, you know, when they put their fists in their hands, you know, like that motion where they're like, yeah, you remember me? And I'm like, oh, gulp. They're going to make sure I pay for my infinite ammo shenanigans. But I can't lie, I've been enjoying it. It's fun. I mean, what better way to enjoy infinite ammo than just using magnums? I mean, it makes it a super fun experience, and it's super satisfying as well. Like, I do love a good just messing around using infinite launcher. But there's just something so fun about using the magnums. Let me know what y'all think as well. Like, do you guys always using the magnums, or do you prefer the rocket launcher? They're both fun. I mean, that's what I love about Resident Evil, that they give you so many different ways where you can beat the game. And it kind of takes me back to, like, you know, when you're a kid and you have like one game, because, you know, when I was like a kid, I didn't have too many games. So like the ones that I did have, you know, you just beat them over and over and over again. And then you get to use so many different items, and it just feels like a different way to explore the game. It was super fun. So I definitely understand people that like to just run the game many times. And I know there's some people that like to also play the game like just one time, you know, they get the platinum and then they're done. But I feel like Resident Evil does a good job at those like replay throughs. It's always fun. Like, as soon as I'm done with my first playthrough, I'm like, let's go again. I mean, get back in there. But I hope you've been enjoying the video. Hopefully your run is going smooth as well. And if you're just watching or just chill, I hope you're having a good time as well. Hopefully everything in life's been going good. Hopefully everything you're working towards to ends up perfect, even better than you imagined. And as always, I mean, thank you again for all the love and support. It's always funny just knocking the enemies down from there. Yeah, play this part slowly as well because it can get pretty chaotic. But especially with all the glass that can break. Some of them have grenades. They grab a hold of you. They all have armor. Yeah, like take your time reloading. No rush. We're doing good. We want to make sure we approach every part completely ready to go. Yeah, watch out with these enemies. Anytime those enemies have grenades or weapons, I mean, they just stun you, they grab you, they one-shot you. But thankfully, like, again, when you have armor, you can approach things with more confidence. Because you do take a good amount of hits with armor. But once that armor is gone, that's when it gets very bad. And this is a good example right there where, as you can see, I ran out of ammo for my Magnum. And then you switch to another weapon. And when it's enemies back to back to back,
Okay.
it can just be so easy to lose track. If it does, don't worry about it. Again, with Leon, we get a lot of auto saves. Or, yeah, auto saves. And so you never go too far back. But I want to avoid that for you as much as possible. If it does happen, it's okay. I mean, again, we're on no time constraints.
Were you able to fix that broken part?
So that does help out a lot. And we're just farming up those credits. We're almost back at 100,000. So we're definitely going to invest into the last armor. Make you as tanky as possible. Start investing a little bit into the hatchet.
Not yet. I can't fix it without a
Get
tool.
that free green herb. And we're going to save.
Picked up the relay.
Were you able to fix that broken part?
Not yet. I can't fix it without a tool.
They keep reminding me like, hey, do you remember that cargo thing that's right next to the first base? I keep forgetting to grab it. I mean, it doesn't make too much of a difference in the end since we have to go back there anyways, but it's just funny that I haven't grabbed it yet. I guess because I was just kind of testing out so many different things, trying to find out the best way to route this so I can go as smooth as possible for other people as well. But just like other parts, I mean, here, play it slow. There's a lot of enemies up here. We don't want to mess with enemies that can throw items at us. Boom. Oh my god, it clicked. See, that's like another thing too. Like here we're playing it slow and then sometimes you just kind of keep going and then it's like click and you're like, oh. That oh feeling when there's a lot of enemies around you is definitely one of the biggest like gulp moments ever. Really, we want to make sure we do not mess with blister heads. I don't know why it's always funny. Like you take down those enemies, they're like, I really want to throw this barrel at you. I don't think so. Do you see like that type of like tripping stuff that they do when they do that close range? It is terrifying. Thankfully, we've been keeping our distance. Please remember, keep your distance. Since we have infinite ammo, we can make them play around us. Always take your time to reload, because you don't want to get caught with no ammo. There is a Crimson Head down here. Always want to take care of them. Get that green herb. Believe there's an enemy around here. Yeah. Watch out for him. He can just throw that thing at you. But it's okay. If you do take a lot of damage here, it's okay because once we put down this wheel here, there is a door to the left that reconnects us. So there's a save station. There's a shop if you need anything.
Now for the other side.
So yeah, if you feel like you need to save, go ahead and do so. Another green herb there. Normally you can just run past a lot of these enemies, but again, why even do that when we can just destroy them with the magnum. I think, yeah, I hear the chainsaw guy. Oh my god. That probably scared me back then, and it scared me right now. Yeah, definitely take your time reloading and keep that distance. Oh yes, yeah, there's a zombie behind me that I completely, yeah, that jump scared me. I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. It just reminds me so much of the hand cannon. Although I have to give respect to this magnum. It definitely has much better precision than the hand cannon. The hand cannon, while amazing and super fun to use, it kicks. It'll miss shots like crazy. The spread on it, like whenever you're shooting back to back to back, it just one bullet will go to like the left wall and then the other one will go to the sky. But it was still a lot of fun to use. Definitely one of my favorite bonus weapons. And as you can imagine with this part, thankfully we don't have to deal with too many zombies. Like they kind of just drop down one by one, which is
Now what?
the best way to deal with zombies whenever you have the magnum. The only time they ever have a real big problem again is if there's a bunch of them. But here, thankfully, they come one by one. They're excited to see you. We take care of them with no problem. We're back up to 50k credits, so definitely going to be putting that into the magnum for the Mr. X fight.
We're gonna have to take the next one.
I'm just like, when are they coming? I believe the Crimson Head comes up next. Oh, yeah, gotta watch out for that. Oh, yeah. You hear them coming. I mean, this weapon is just incredible. It just deals with them no problem. This is another area where a lot of enemies can catch up to you. And we definitely want all the credits that they can give, so just play a little bit back. Because once you walk forward a bit, as you can see right now, they're kind of just all like completely unaware. But once you walk around here, there's a trigger somewhere around here. Yeah, you see there. So it's better to take down the zombies you can see, then trigger the other zombies. Keep your distance. I'm pretty sure, yeah, see, once you pass through here, even more spawn. And when you're just in a tight spot like this, if you just run ahead and don't pay attention too much and all these zombies kind of pile up, they can just catch up to you and it can be a real big problem. But thankfully, you know, the game gives us enough breathing room where we can take out some enemies, walk a little bit forward, trigger some more, walk back, trigger some more, and just deal with them like that. Definitely worth farming these locations because, again, if you run out of like magnum ammo, you want to make sure your other weapons are also, you know, close to fully upgraded. So worst case scenario, you have to pull out other weapons. You'll stay safe. You won't ever be stuck reloading. You always have another option at least. Right here I was testing, I'm like, does the shotgun shoot that far? It does not. And I believe this is just pistol ammo, which I was like, it's not even a grenade, it's just some pistol ammo. I mean, I'm sure if you're playing through a normal infinite run, I mean, not an infinite, normal insanity run, you take any scraps you can get. Finally gonna get that repair kit. I remember when I first saw the motorcycle here, I thought you can just drive this thing around the city. I was like, ooh, which we technically do, but not in the way I was thinking. But with that, we got all the detonator parts. We're done with this section. Hopefully you're also able to breeze past it. I know you got this. We're 2 hours and 30 minutes in. I mean, we're doing good. Again, remember, no time constraints. Hopefully you don't hopefully you don't have to do your speed demon in this run. Because I definitely want you to take your time, enjoy the infinite ammo, but also farm as much resources as you can in case you need it. And in Insanity, this part's not too different. I mean, the dogs are, I believe they're a little bit tankier, but it's not enough to where you'll feel a difference, I believe.
Should make it there in no time.
Good to hear. How are the roads?
A little bumpy.
Just a few potholes.
Leon's just so casual about everything. He's having to drive through like holes in the ground, like dogs and all that. He's like, oh yeah, it was fine. You know, no problem. You got really close there. I'm sorry, doggies. I don't think you can be trained. I do like that they also give you credits. So like any enemy you take down, you just get a lot of credits, and that helps out a lot.
These pups could use more training.
Let's do it. I just love, like, this part is just so it's so Resident Evil, but in such an awesome way. Gideon just like really wants to take us down, but we're not gonna let it happen. He actually is a pretty tough boss fight, although I do want to say in third person, while he is a strong boss, I feel like part of what makes it also hard is how close he gets in the camera. Like when you're back up against the wall, you'll see towards the end,
For the direct route.
because we have to focus on parrying a lot, the camera just gets kind of way too close and it gets a little bit hard to see. But I do try to mitigate that by making sure we keep our distance. It does require parrying whenever we try to walk away from him, but thankfully, I mean, the game, it gives us enough breathing room. It just requires us to learn some of the parries. Almost back at 100K. We're rich.
Ken, seriously. I don't give up that.
This part is just so funny and awesome. Like, to choose a whole building to go through like this, I mean, it's just so Resident Evil. I love it. I am happy that there's a DLC coming out hopefully soon. If I had to guess, it'll probably be the same way Separate Ways was, where it comes out in either September or October. But I guess we'll see. Boom. You should have wore a helmet. I love the way Leon delivers that line too. Should have worn a helmet. He just sounds so tired and done with it. He's just like, I'm just trying to go home, man. But this RPD part, I mean, it's pretty short. But, like I said earlier, we will be getting the Q charm here and the sunglasses one, because I'm definitely going to need that for the no infinite run.
Can't believe it's still standing.
Every time I come through here, it makes me want to play Resident Evil 2 Remake. Because it's been a couple years since I played it. I think whenever I was making the guide videos, actually, that was the last time I played it. But with that save down, I mean, it's a quick area. Rest in peace.
Easy, officer.
So in case you don't have the charms and you're watching this video before you attempt this run, definitely use it. I mean, as you see, that all the weapons, we've been doing good so far. The shotgun could definitely be a little bit stronger, but with the Q charm, you do have to keep like a medium distance, but it does a lot of damage. I believe this one is the sunglasses. Yeah, it is. And the password for it is just 3 R's. So what this charm does, in case you've never gotten it, it makes the last bullet in the chamber do more damage. If I had to guess, it's probably anywhere between 30 to 50. But it's significant no matter what it is, and it's definitely worth putting on, especially for that one gun that's like Wesker's or Xeno's. It only has 1 bullet in it, so basically every time you shoot it, it just straight up does more damage. I think it was meant to be comboed with that one. And then the way the cute bear charm works is that normally shotguns, like if you're close range, you know, it obviously does the most damage. But you do more damage with the Q charm at a medium distance, but you do less damage close range. So it's like a trade-off, but I definitely think it's worth it. Especially in these modes where distance is your best friend. I mean, we don't want to let any of the zombies get close to us. Thankfully right now we have a lot of armor, but when we don't have armor, especially in the beginning, it can kind of be intimidating, but hopefully, as you've seen so far, it hasn't been too bad. So I hope your run's been going the same. I mean, that's my favorite part is when I release a video and then people say that this was super fun, it was super enjoyable, and it helped me out a lot, and it went smooth. Obviously, whenever you have different experiences in an RNG game, it's gonna be hard to get a consistent, guide out there. But I try to make it as consistent as possible, and it's always just makes me so happy to know that, not only me, but a lot of us together have helped a lot of people get their achievements. Because like when I started this channel, I mean, I was helping out a friend, and I was recording it, and he needed help with it. Instead of just streaming it, he's like, you should kind of make a video of it and just kind of explain. And you never know, some people might watch, you might be able to help out others. And the fact that it was able to, you know, help out so many people get achievements, it's been like a dream come true. I mean, honestly, just to help out other people that enjoy the same things you enjoy. You get to be part of a community that you've loved for so much, you know, for so long. It's been just an incredible experience. And I always use these moments, like, especially for parts like this, where this is just kind of like a little bit of a walking sim. There's not too much we can do differently here. There's some skips, but I just wanted to play it the safer way, just to make sure it's as consistent as possible. But also just so I can, you know, thank everybody for all the kind words and support that I've gotten over the years. Like, again, it's crazy that there's so much content and things move so fast these days that, you know, having 20-ish videos and having people come back to them and just leave nothing but kind words, support, and letting me know that they were able to get their platinums, their trophies, their achievements, whatever console or PC you play on. It's just been an amazing thing to be a part of. I mean,
Please.
it just takes me back to being a kid, you know, whenever my cousin got me into Resident Evil. You know, my cousin and all my family, you know, I was too young at the time. And my mom probably would have been very upset knowing that I was playing it, but it's been awesome to be a part of a community that I've gotten to grow up with over the years, and to see how big it's gotten now. I mean, I feel like every single release it's just been bigger and bigger, which is crazy, but it's well deserved. I mean, they've done a good job with the games. I am on the side where I rather them take, you know, more time making a game and it comes out good, like how we got with this Resident Evil, than to try to pump it out. I know there was like a point where they're pumping them out back to back to back, which is fine too, as long as they're well made. Also, there's a jump scare coming up here. I don't want anybody to, yeah. I don't want anybody to be like listening in and then they're just like, whoa, what? Because I know I get a lot of new viewers that it's probably the first time watching Resident Evil videos, so I don't want them to get jump scared, especially if they're watching this at night just trying to chill. But yeah, it's been so amazing to be part of this community and to just have so many people be so kind to me, and it's don't want to get too emotional, but it's been amazing and I really do appreciate all of you. Thank you so much again. It really does mean a lot. I mean, I do put a lot of time into these videos, and doing this between work and stuff like that can be a little bit caught up in time, and it's always hard to release stuff like as soon as the game comes out, because, you know, I'm like busy with work and family and stuff. You know, if you're in that part of your life, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It can be a little bit hard to give time towards your passion, but the fact so many people have been patient with me and still watch my stuff and just always leaving comments. I always try to get to as many comments as I can. It's just been crazy, but I always do appreciate all the love and support you guys give me, and for helping out others too. Like, really, I cannot stress out enough how much other people have helped out with their comments that have been put in other guide videos. Like, at this point, when this video releases, I'm sure there will be a lot of people that have so much more intel. Unfortunately, some of the intel that I got from my last video, I wasn't able to apply here because as soon as I released that video, I was already working on this one. But just a lot of the stuff that I already learned from people in the comments in that one, I'll be able to say in my no infinite ammo one. And, you know, people might watch that one and they might not watch this one, and they might use that for their, you know, infinite ammo run, or just as a guide or just a video to watch. So all that kind of just ends up helping out other people, and I mean, that's just kind of the best thing ever. Like, help out other people that have the same passion as you, have the same hobbies as you. It's just kind of the best part about being a community. So thank you again. I really do appreciate it. Always got to give, you know, the proper shout out to everybody in the community that's helped out a lot and shown me love and support. So thank you so much again. But with that said, we're almost done with this part. As you can see, there's not too much different ways. I mean, there's little gambles we can do. Like, I know in first person, you can skip past this part, like this part specifically. Like as soon as you get the key, you can go to the hatch, but it's kind of hit or miss. And that's the thing too, like when people are watching your video and they use it as like a reference or a guide, I want to make sure that whenever I give advice towards something, it's something that I know that at least it will work like 90% of the time. Obviously it's always going to be hit or miss, but with stuff like that, you know, skip past this part by just running straight to the hatch and then avoiding getting grabbed. If you do get grabbed, I don't know when the last autosave was. I don't think it's maybe too far back, but even then, I don't want you to have to go through that. It's definitely way better to just advise just, hey, like we've been keeping our distance already the entire game, and we're like 3 hours in. So I mean, we're already pretty much doing it pretty fast. So there's no need to try to, you know, save at most a minute or 2 minutes. Like you don't wait too long there for the girls to go through there. So it's definitely not worth trying to do it and then you go back to a certain point.
Just be a bad dream.
But other than that, you can't play this part too differently.
Why did they?
But yeah, I always love reading comments. I always love asking questions and seeing, because, you know, most videos, from what I've seen from the stats and from what I've heard from other YouTubers, like most people don't watch past like the first, I think, minute or something like that. And it kind of keeps going down more and more from there. So as the video goes on, you know, people either have enjoyed it or left it on in the background. So I like to ask questions because it's more personal until you get better answers versus like, you know, asking at the very beginning. So I want to ask, like, you know, what is people's favorite Resident Evils? Like, is it one? Is it some of the OGs or some of the remakes? I know some people have said that they even like Resident Evil 5 the most or Resident Evil 6 the most. Some people like the OGs versus the new ones. Some people love 7 and 8 the most. I mean, that's what's always interesting. So definitely let me know down in the comments. But yeah, hopefully you've been having a good day. Stay safe out there. It's a crazy world out there right now. You know, I don't try not to watch too much news, but at the same time, I mean, it's hard not to be aware a little bit, but stay safe out there. The weather's been kind of crazy too. I know that, you know, that's, I'm no weather expert, but there's, that's a Nino or La Nina. One of them is making the weather kind of crazy right now. So hopefully you've been staying safe no matter what part of the world you've been in. All my love and support to the people that are in those struggling areas right now that are in war. You know, my heart goes out to you. Hopefully everything stays good and I'll make it out in the end. But yeah, got the fire poker pretty much towards the end of this section. Don't worry about this girl. It's always scripted for her to grab you. Their laughs are just so creepy. They did way too good of a job at making them scary.
What's wrong with them? What is this place?
They're so good at making these like orphanage parts like dark. They're kind of scary. Like this picture right here, every time I walk past, I'm like, oh my god, that is just terrifying. Then you have like all the clones here and stuff. Umbrella, man, there are just some messed up people. And then after that, like you go through that like damn, this is dark type stuff, and then you just get Mr. X in your face.
I don't have time to deal with this.
Just like the girl, if we actually keep line of sight, he is fast, but he won't bust down through that door, which makes it a lot easier to deal with. I do believe in this next area. I take a shot at Mr. X a couple of times to see how much it'll take to stun him. I don't know if it's because whenever he busts down through the door, it's kind of like the girl where I think in certain areas when there's an animation playing, it's kind of like an in-game cutscene kind of. So it just doesn't count any of your shots. Like look at this, like 1. I missed that one too. So that one's 2, 3. We parry that, but so 3 headshots and he didn't get stunned. And since he's so close, I can't even recommend really trying to take shots at him. Just run past him and get ready to parry. But yeah, I was just like, wow. That is a tanky boy. But before we actually go take him on, we're gonna go get the cute bear charm. Which if you're watching this and you know you haven't done your standard run or you're thinking about doing your second run, this charm will help out a lot with the shotgun. And it's fairly low risk to get. I mean, like, look, we're on insanity right now. We pick it up. Then we're just out. The zombies are just sleeping at the wheel. I think it's if you go into that one crate, that's what aggroes all of them. But if you're just here for the charm, which in my opinion is the most important thing there, you can pretty much get it with no problem. It's crazy, like when you're walking through this part, like just Resident Evil 2 vibes, it just kind of hits you, like the remake part.
Changed.
It's crazy how that like nostalgia just hits you. But with all that said, it's time to take on Mr. X. Oh my god, we have so many herbs. Which again, that's why I wanted you to have a lot for moments like this. But if you do have the RPG, which I believe if you haven't really spent your points yet and you just followed up from my last video, you should have more than enough to buy the RPG. I definitely recommend using it for Mr. X or for Gideon, depending on which one you personally don't like to go through more. Actually here I end up plugging my controller. You're gonna see at the bottom, yeah, see, like I plug in my controller because I want to make sure that this works on both PC and console. So we want to start off the fight by shooting him at least twice in the chest. When you shoot him twice in the chest, I think if you shoot him in the arm or anywhere else, he gets stunned like that. Then we're going to use the last 2 shots to shoot and then parry. That attack is pretty easy to parry, but if you want to do 4 shots and then parry, you can also do that. But if you do 5 shots, he'll immediately jump on a car. If you do 4 shots, you're going to have to do 1 more shot on him for him to go to the car. We take a couple shots on him while he's there. Once he falls down, I try not to shoot too much because just like all the other enemies, we want to keep our distance. He always does this like 3-slash attack, and when he's done with the combo, I just take 1 shot at him. He's gonna get really close to you with those attacks, but again, we're gonna just try to keep our distance. When he does this scream, you can actually run towards his left, and his character just kind of doesn't know what to do, so it just kind of crashes out. We got really lucky with that car. And again, just take as many shots as you can before he gets close. After he's done with the combo, do another shot. Watch out for that attack. Just again, keep your distance. I mean, once you learn it, you'll see that this fight kind of goes pretty smoothly. The only thing with it is it's kind of random because it's hard to be consistent or make a consistent guide about it whenever he just tosses the cards differently for everybody. But yeah, before he goes down, before you do your axe attack, try to do 1 shot into him. But if you feel like you're cutting it close, just go for the axe attack. And the reason we're doing that versus just shooting more shots into him is because after you do that, yeah, he'll do this or he'll jump on a car, and again, we can run to his left. It's gonna get really close. There's gonna be some times where you're like, I don't know if I should do this, but if you hug his left side, as you see, I've done it there 2 times now. I believe I even do it a 3rd time. It's pretty consistent. And again, I'm doing this with the controller because I wanted to make sure that it's as consistent as possible. Also, you're gonna love whenever he picks up cars because it's pretty much free shots on him. You know, he's having his little tantrum right here, just throwing cards around. If you find yourself with 1 bullet in Magnum, if you do a charge shot like that, it'll always stun him. Again, here he's doing that same thing. Just stay on the left side. It's gonna look so crazy close, but I promise you, once you do it once or twice, you're gonna be like, okay, I get it now. It's not as scary um, as it looks. It's the same thing with that like lunge attack. Once you kind of know the distance, it's easy to, you know, keep. Look, he's doing it again for a fourth time because it really wants to do that animation where he throws you to the car. So he does that a lot. We're taking advantage of that. We've gotten really lucky with the cars not hitting us. Again, it's doing it again. Yeah, because if you know the animation that happens, so you know when he throws you to the car and then you spam F, I think the game is scripted to really want to do that just for cinematic purposes. So we use that to our advantage, and that's why it's kind of good to always dodge those shots, because if you kind of have him doing that over and over again, it makes it so easy to dodge, and then that opens up a lot of moments for you to shoot right there. So hopefully that goes smooth for you. I know it's going to look scary to dodge some of those, but it probably will be like the first or second try where you kind of learn, you know, what's the distance I can keep. But once you learn it, it kind of sticks with you, and it'll help out for future runs where you're like, okay, he's not that scary. Well, if you keep your distance and you have, you know, ammo for your weapon, even on other difficulties, if you're just using a shotgun, it works pretty much the same way in all of them. So hopefully it goes smooth for you. Here I actually remembered that you can upgrade these two. I actually went back and tested it like in the previous save for here. It didn't make too much of a difference. It's the same thing where at the very beginning you have to shoot him twice in the chest, and then like a third time pretty much anywhere, and it should stun him. If not, it's probably 3 times in the chest. But since he's kind of running straight towards you, if you're very patient with your shots, you'll see that they're pretty easy to hit, and then you stun him, do those 2 extra shots, and if you do all 5, he always follows up with jumping on a car. But again, you can do 4 shots and then run past them, and then do a 5th shot, and then he'll jump on a car. Yeah, good to keep your distance. Definitely makes him play in a way that lets us have more control over the fight, versus when we're super close. I mean, he can just swing, and do a lot of damage.
Heading underground.
May take a few times to practice, but yeah, definitely once you do it a couple times. Like once you dodge certain attacks, even once, you're gonna be like, okay, I kind of see it. Then you'll do it the second time, and then you're gonna be like, I see it. Then you can confidently do it pretty much every single time. As for this next boss fight, I mean, it's kind of like the spider boss fight. It's not too difficult. This is definitely not going to be one that I recommend using the rocket launcher on. Yeah, watch out for these spiders here. If I remember correctly, they don't actually show up in the normal mode. They only put these here in Insanity, but at the same time, they're not very scary. Well, I guess I should say they're not, like, aggressive. As aggressive as I thought they would be. Like, they... Poor little spiders. They're kind of just, like, looking at me there. Another green herb here. But yeah, that flower boss, definitely not going to be the one I recommend using a rocket launcher on. I feel like it makes the most sense to use it on Mr. X. Or first phase Gideon, but I mean, I feel like if you use it on Mr. X, you just skip a boss fight that actually takes a little bit. I think that boss fight was like 5 minutes for us. I mean, you can make it a lot quicker, obviously, if you parry, but I wanted to make sure that in case you don't feel comfortable parrying, there's a lot easier way to do it. Plus, not only that, with parrying in Insanity, you lose your durability so fast. And to get the infinite durability costs like 20,000 points, and I don't recommend getting that. It's definitely way better to get the rocket launcher, which costs like 15,000. But yeah, with how fast you lose your durability, even when it's like fully upgraded, when you parry, I mean, it takes only a couple hits before you have to re-fix it, re-sharpen it. So yeah, I wanted to make that fight not focused on like, you know, you parry, shoot. As you can see, if you kind of just keep your distance. You're able to take a shot at him, especially after he does like a combo hit. With this flower boss, so it's a very tight corner. It's also kind of like the same thing what I was saying with Victor, like in third person. You'll end up seeing here that the way the camera is, it's kind of sometimes hard to actually see when the vines on the side are going to be hitting down at you. So you have to be kind of aware of that. Yeah, watch out for the flowers here. Some of them, like, I still forget where some of them are. And it's always so dark. There's like an enemy down here that you're going to end up seeing that I could not see him for the life of me. Yeah, not much we're going to upgrade right now. Yeah, they have caught me off guard multiple times. And they're kind of shy, like they're not opening up. Yeah, even like looking at it here, I'm like leaned into my monitor trying to see. I'm like, wait, where is it again? It's actually funny looking back at it. I'm like, where is it? Because it's so dark in here. Maybe it's because I'm using an OLED, but I also have the window blinds open. Yeah, main thing we want to get up here is the grenade. Or is it a grenade? I think it's a med injector. Yeah, it is. Definitely want to grab that. But it's good to be aware where all the flowers are because you don't want to lose health on your way to get more health. You want to save them for the bosses. Yeah, watch out for this one right here. Yeah, right here after this part on Insanity, there is a zombie carrying a submachine gun. It's kind of hard to see, and even again, like looking at it here, I'm like, I can't even confidently say I see. I only see him because of the fire rate from the submachine gun. Yeah, I cannot see him at all. Even looking at it in the editing software, I cannot see him. I think we got him. Yeah, I'm like, is he even down or is he still up? Yeah, he is still up, actually. Yeah, now we got him. Sneaky guy. Plus, I think he has armor. But definitely his greatest asset was the darkness and, like, the smoke. And there'll be another one up here. Yeah, that one is a lot easier to see. Because there's some light behind it, but the other one just could not see him for the life of me. So definitely keep your distance. Try to avoid any damage. Because the submachine guns definitely melt your armor pretty quickly. Same thing with this part. Those two are really easy to take down if you keep your distance. And then we're going to spawn in these. As soon as you spawn these in, walk backwards. Because the one on the right, yeah, that one will almost immediately swing down. So if you're not like quick to shoot both of them, you just take a hit and then you have to walk back and fix your armor. Don't want you to have to do that. Yeah, here, this is what I was talking about. Do you see how like we're zoomed in? And you can kind of see on the right and left side that the vines are coming down, but definitely be mindful of that. Because it happens pretty fast. Yeah, like right there. Like, it's kind of hard to see. That's kind of the same issue that happens with Gideon. Since it's such a small, like, boss area, and he pushes you backwards and you have to parry a lot. One of the bosses that ends up happening is that, you know, it's like the camera's the boss. I'm not sure if it plays a lot better in first person, because I know it's like a tighter FOV, and I don't think they let you change your FOV. I think there's mods for it, but you know, I don't want to switch to first person and then have a bigger FOV, and then people on console, for example, they can't download a mod and just, you know, widen the FOV, so I don't want to recommend that. But even on third person, like as you saw there, like it's hard to see the vines on the right and the left side. You kind of have to pay attention a little bit. But yeah, not a hard boss fight at all. And with that, I mean, we're in the final section. We have how much time? We have about 41 minutes left in the video. So yeah, we're almost there. Hopefully your run's going well. At this point, we're reaching towards the end of like all the upgrades for our weapons. We are going to want to upgrade the hatchet in case you don't already. Again, if you have the thing that lets you upgrade it to like level 3 and you have extra money, I mean, go ahead and do it. We're definitely going to need it for the hunk fight. Maybe the damage one. I'm not sure if leveling it up to level 3 damage takes him down faster. I assume so. But here we're just going to be doing it with the level 2 upgrades. Because again, I didn't want to do something and other people may not have it. Yeah, here as you can see, we're making as many grenades as we can. Because they become super useful for this area. So like even with infinite ammo, this part can be a little tough because there's a lot of enemies. And since they all have weapons, they shred through your armor, and once your armor is down, again, we go back to that one-shot territory, so we want to use the grenades to effectively take out the enemies as quickly as possible. But as you're going to see here, we're going to use a stacked grenade against the 3 enemies, and you should at least always take down 2. You know, obviously, best case scenario is taking them all down, but yeah, I feel like most of the time, you should be able to take down most of them and just clean up whatever's left. So right here, we take out a stack grenade as soon as the light goes out. Toss it over. And you can... Yeah, I don't know if you can hear the way they land. But that kind of lets you know. And if the door opens like that, that means they're all out. So, easy way to take down those enemies so you don't have to shred through your armor. Be kind of careful right here. They're all just waiting for you. I'm kind of like peeking. Trying to make them take a shot. Yeah, there you go. And remember, at this point, if you have the charm on or scope on, definitely feel free to use that. Then yeah, even on insanity, I mean, with our, you know, 2 levels upgraded into damage, takes them down pretty quickly. It's also going to be useful to have some grenades here for whenever they drop down. I believe 1 got away, if I remember correctly. Yes. So we want to take him out. He's a little unaware. He still thinks we're over there. Yeah, here, pull out some grenades. And then wait for them to kind of almost drop down. Like, as you can see here, they're about to drop down. Throw that. Throw another one over there. Sometimes the AI may make them run to the very left. So one may escape. Just be mindful of that. And yeah, as you can see, we let out the liquor, but with the Magnum, he goes down pretty fast. Yeah, that's how you make this section pretty easy. Because even if the Magnum is good enough to take down most of these enemies, but that shield guy can be pretty tough to deal with. And when you have a bunch of enemies, you know, taking shots at you, since we're on this side, they melt your armor. They start melting your health. It just, it can happen so fast. Get that large gunpowder. Can craft more grenades. So as you can see, we still have a lot of grenades, even if we pass a lot of large gunpowders. So you should still have enough. But with that said, wanted to see if there was anything else left to upgrade. You can obviously buy those 2 herbs if you need it. But yeah, since the hatchet is upgraded, gonna save, and it's time to do what I think is probably gonna be the hardest boss fight in terms of like retries. Either this one or first face Gideon. I feel like people would take the most tries on, but this one, since this is straight parrying, and since it's so RNG, because this is like one of the things that's hard to make it consistent for, because everybody plays differently. If you like to walk to the left, you know, he'll probably play differently than if you force him to the right. It's hard to explain, but that's why I kind of let him come towards me. So like, for example, right here, we parry, swing once, parry, swing once.
I heard you were.
Oh yeah, pull out the ghost grunge, because you can actually take a shot at him after this part. If he's too close, he'll actually punish you for it, but if you're a good distance, you can do it. Parry, swing once, parry, parry, Swing once. Go to the next phase. Yeah, here I try to bait out that spin attack, but he at this point will do pretty much random attacks. When he's stunned like this, just keep swinging, keep swinging, keep swinging. Get ready to tap. Go to the next phase.
Sneaky bastard.
Parry, parry. Yeah, watch out for that spin attack. It can kind of catch you off guard, but once you kind of learn it, you're able to see it coming. Yeah, see, once you learn to kind of find it. But he's so quick that I won't, you know, don't feel bad if he takes damage at you. He definitely does some quick attacks. He runs off over there, but yeah, we just saved, so if you go down, it's okay. The first two phases are pretty easy to do. Yeah, like right there, he did that spinning attack and he still got me. He can be very fast. It's that third phase that he does. It can be pretty hard to read some of the attacks. So he does go down here, so while I feel like I can make the first two phases pretty consistent, it was kind of hard to make him play consistently in the last phase since he just, at that point, does 3 different attacks or 3 different parry attacks.
Ran into trouble. This guy was one.
Yeah, watch out. On Insanity here, some enemies spawn there. Unfortunately, that guy ran in before I was able to throw the grenade, but the one on the left side got taken out. So we finish him off. Watch out for that guy. But yeah, as you saw there, like, phase 1 and phase 2. Phase 1, he always does like 1 attack, and then you just have to parry once. Phase 2, the first attack you can just parry once and then do the slash, and then but then he'll do a double attack. So then you have to parry twice. But then after that, the third phase, that's whenever he starts doing 3 attacks or 3 attacks you have to parry. So sometimes it's hard to take a read on those. But as long as I can get you to that part, I feel like learning it won't be too difficult. It just will take a little bit of practice. And remember, we just saved, so if you have to go back, it's okay. We're not on a time constraint. You're almost at the very end, so just keep that in mind. And if you need to take a break, take a break. Sometimes you take a break after like going down like multiple times. You know, you go drink some water, you go eat some food, or you go take a walk or something, and you come back and beat it your first try. That's happened so many times that it's definitely something I recommend to do. But with that said, we're on the grace section. Now this is where a lot of people normally have problems because they, you know, rush through the first part and they don't have like the proper equipment. Like they may just have the Freyhead's needle, which is like her automatic pistol, and it's just not enough to get through this part confidently. I mean, you can play it super slowly. Like if you drag every enemy out, you can play it super slowly and do it. But I wanted to make sure that you can approach this part as confidently as possible and have as much materials as possible, because now we can start using the blood bags and, you know, take down all the enemies while still having a lot of materials. So with that said, we're going to save. And we're almost there. You're doing good. Before we head out, though, we're going to pick up some stuff. Definitely bring over a pistol just in case we need it. Oh, right here, I put that away, and I'm like, let me bring in the other one. I bring in some injectors, and then I remember I was like looking for the other pistol, which is already in our inventory. But I was just like, where is it? It's just so funny. Look, it's literally in there, and it like took me a second. I'm like, did I toss it? I'm like, oh, it's right there. But yeah, here we brought some bottles since we're gonna be crafting some stuff once we get the bottle recipe or the acid recipe. The Molotovs are really good against the zombies. It pretty much only takes 1. I wouldn't waste them on the liquors since I think it takes like 2 or 3. I think it's 2, but still, it's way better to just take down this first liquor with the injector. Yeah, don't get too close to it. I kind of like stay around this middle area. Wait for him to turn around. Then you should see a prompt. Give him a poke. And thankfully it still one-shots him. throw a Molotov at him, because on Insanity, he actually stands up as soon as you walk over here. On the other difficulties, he kind of just stays laying down until you come back. And we're still walking because there's a liquor on the other side of this store, and if you run here, you will get his attention. That scared me. I don't know what caused, like, for it to, like, clip like that. Be very sneaky. If you need to wait a little bit for him to turn around, definitely do that. Take him out with an injector. And we can just take down these enemies with the pistol, especially since the other one doesn't aggro from here. You don't want to deal with both of them trying to come up to you, so we don't really need to waste a Molotov. I think here I do use a Molotov. Yeah, I do. Because he did not want to come out. And I know I can just walk to the right, but I was just like, why not? We have a lot. Yeah, see, they go down in one bottle. And we definitely want to have a lot of Molotovs and bottles of acid. Yeah, make sure you get both of the bottles of acid. Yeah, remember to keep your distance because, yeah, do you see that trip attack? Like, those catch you off guard every single time, like the first time you're doing it, because it's just, they can just be so quick. I mean, I hopefully have done a good job at showing you how safe you can play the game, but I know some people are going to go into it and then they're going to have a different experience because they might get a little bit too close in the beginning because they're like, oh, I'm fine. And then they do that tripping thing and then they grab you. They take away most of your health, or if you're playing at the very beginning, you get one shot and you're like, wow. Because that definitely happened to me. But remember, we can take our time. No time constraint. I'm gonna take down these enemies too. Because we will have to come back here to get the marble. And it's gonna spawn like 3 enemies. Also, interestingly, the door on Insanity right there is closed. And don't worry, we'll come back and gather some of the supplies. We're just going to go put the key down. In this upcoming area, the liquor that's normally on the wall on other difficulties, he's actually by the
Not dead yet.
forklift thing. Yeah, here, since we still have a good amount of ink ribbons, just gonna do another save. Just in case, because, again, you never know. Even if there's only one liquor over here. Since we have so much materials, I don't want people to have to risk, you know, an accident happening or something goes wrong and then they have to do all that over again. Yeah, the liquor normally on other difficulties is right here. And he's on the wall. So you normally can just walk past him. But they made it to where you can't walk past him over here. So he's just completely taking up the entire, like, middle hallway. But it's no problem. They get one-shotted by one bottle. Put the key in here.
All right, Leon.
We're getting there.
Be careful.
Just gotta get the 2 marbles.
I need to
Then
get
it's that
going
one
too.
Leon section. Then we're done. Well, and the boss fight. I mean, at this point, should be feeling good. Almost done. Got a lot of materials. Boom. Watch out, there's an enemy at this door over here. If you kind of just like run in there, he's gonna grab you. And yeah, remember, if they're by themselves like this, it's definitely more worth to take them down with the pistol, even if the Molotov one-shots them. They're not too bad to deal with. Also, I don't know why like he was like sitting up. That made me laugh. So we got the crafting recipe for the bottle of acid. And here we're going to put the code, which is 20070. And there should be a bottle of acid in here, an injector, and another empty bottle. Craft more acid. And yeah, again, if you need to go into your blood bags at this point, feel free to do so. There's also some of the blood from the lickers and the zombies in the other room. But here, since, I mean, we're doing so good, I just start bringing over some blood bags. And we got 5 bottles of acid. We can craft more stuff like some Molotovs. Oh, we actually have 6 bottles of acid. Yeah, I mean, you're still looted up at this point. That's why I said it was better to take it slow at the very beginning. I definitely read up a lot on what would be some issues people would have. And then I saw that since people just kind of bum rush to the first part with the Magnum, they don't remember to collect some items. And it's a very easy like mistake to make. I mean, when you have the Magnum, I mean, you just completely forget because it's so fun. You're having such a good time destroying everything. Then you're like, maybe I can just use the automatic pistol. Oh yeah, watch out for that glass. If you step on that glass, the other licker can sometimes, depending where he is, can hear you. There's another knife right there. Here's a bottle. The code for this one is 8050. You get another Molotov. And a med injector. Yeah, we can discard that. We don't need that. Good thing about the Molotov too is that whenever you wait to use it against a lot of enemies, like we will here, it can pretty much one-shot 3 of them. Or like, you know, as many as get hit from the Molotov itself. Yeah, watch out for this guy. We can just throw one at him since at this point, we have so many. And there's another blood bag here. Yeah, we're investing a lot into acid because the next room is going to have a ton of liquors in it. We get the blood, get the bottle. Unlike other difficulties on Insanity, there's actually 5 zombies here versus 3. If you aim the Molotov just right, you can pretty much one-shot these 3. The one in the back didn't get hit directly with it, but he gets left pretty much one-shot if I remember correctly. Yeah, he went down. But be careful, don't run out here just yet because there's 2 more. Yeah, and as you can see, they do like a tripping animation, then they do a little running animation. Thankfully, I was only throwing it at that one, but thankfully the other one also got hit by that. And even then, they still got pretty close. But they leave us a lot of blood behind. So even more stuff we can craft. And remember, you can actually turn knives into scrap. So in case you need to make more bottles. 7 bottles of acid and 3 Molotovs. Like, this is how I'm trying to have you, like, for the end part. Instead of it being a part that kind of catches you off guard, I want to make sure you have as much materials as you can. So you can kind of just go through these next areas with no problem. Put the marble there so we have an extra slot. At this point though, I don't think you're going to be out of slot inventory unless you like carrying a bunch of knives. But we should be good. I'd watch out around this area. Once you pass this door, if I remember, yeah, like once you run around here, the lickers can actually aggro. I'm not sure if it was like a one-time occurrence, but again, whenever I was testing out the routing, I think 2 different times they aggroed whenever I ran around here. Since we have an extra injector, I decided to use it on this guy, but obviously it depends on where the liquor is for you. Be careful. Yeah, like if they hear you running, the liquor will be way closer than it is there. But thankfully, they were none the wiser. This is where all the bottles of acid come in clutch. You don't even need to open this door. I just use it to grab the other pouch. But again, at this point, I'd be very surprised if you need more space. Since we have pretty much everything that we need. Yeah, so you keep your distance. Even if they're burning, they can still try to grab you. Yeah, this room is just full of liquors. And that's the thing, like, again, the automatic pistol, it would be very hard to deal with all these enemies. I mean, maybe you can make them come one by one, but that would take so long. It's way better to just be completely stacked at this point and just be able to make as much bottles as you need. And even then, we still have so many blood bags, but thankfully the zombies and the liquors actually give us a lot of blood too. Boom. Remember, keep your distance. We don't want to take any shots in here because we don't want to aggro the liquors. This is actually the first time I ever looted this thing. I've completely missed it in my other runs. I had no idea this was here. We're still walking. There's some scrap there. Boom. Another blood bag here. When you're upstairs and you see those yellow boxes, if you're doing a no infinite ammo run or you don't have that many bottles on you, breaking the boxes actually does aggro the liquor, so be careful with that. At this point, we just have so much. I mean, definitely starting to become overkill, but hey, you never know. Because there's 2 liquors up here, and then 2 more liquors spawn again. Actually, 3. So maybe it's not overkill, actually, now that I'm remembering. Definitely feel free to grab all the blood that you need. Grab that marble.
This is it. I did it.
Feel free to save there too. I mean, they give us a free ink ribbon. I think at this point I was just feeling so confident that we have so many bottles of acid that we can deal with this part like with no problem. But after this, there still is 3 more liquors we have to deal with. Free bottle of acid right there. Another empty bottle. Yeah, we did it. Well, almost. There's 3 liquors left up here. This is always scripted to happen. See, normally on the other difficulties, you can just throw a bottle into the corner and lead these away. But the issue is that on Insanity, they put a 3rd liquor over here that completely blocks the doorway. But thankfully, since we have so many bottles, we don't have to play it super patiently. We can just completely go all out. But after you complete that, I mean, that's it. you know, a section that's normally very hard even with infinite ammo. If you come here unprepared, we completely destroyed it. And we're almost done. We're almost there. And here you don't need to save, since you get an autosave after this. But I just want to make sure that the recording was good. Sometimes when you're doing like long videos and you try out different things and you're doing them in splits and testing out areas, you sometimes lose some videos or like some sections, and I always try to make sure that that does not happen, because when you're this deep in, I try to take no risks. But yeah, this final section here before the final boss.
Containment.
Definitely gonna need some stack grenades for here.
Surveillance failure detected.
Boom. Right here, normally in other difficulties, there is a zombie, but here there's a licker. And since at this point, Leon is getting really sick from the virus. As you can see, they got super close right there. Try to keep your distance. I played it way too close right there. Got the health injector. At this point, I mean, there's not too much to upgrade unless you just feel like buying other weapons. Or you have the level 3 upgrade thing. But feel free to do whatever you'd like. No, top off everything that you need. Make sure you always keep your armor topped off. And let's finish this up. In case you need more money, you can actually grab this legendary module, which has 10,000 in it. So if you want to go back and upgrade anything, you can also do that. It's another dangerous area where there's a lot of lickers. And as you can see, they get aggroed from pretty far away. This one is easy to take care of, but right behind us, yeah. Be very careful because they both can kind of just pop up on you. But again, we just saved, so worst case scenario, if you do take too much damage or go down, that's okay.
I'll take out as many of you fuckers as I can.
There still is more down here. Boom.
Change much. Hell yeah.
Poor Leon. He's definitely feeling it at this point. But don't worry, Leon. We almost got the cure. We're almost there. Now right here, there's no lickers. I thought there would be because on the other difficulties there is, but I guess here they don't. Because they change up the next section by... Yeah. Like they don't put them in there, but they definitely bring them all out like this. Like there's gonna be one running in here. Boom. Yeah, the next area, like on Insanity, normally the lickers will be at the like ceiling. It's not until you put the key that they all drop down. But we got an herb there. There's another medical injector here. So we should be good on health. All the enemies taken down. Yeah, and for this next part, since the lickers are just... You hear them, right? And I was just like... Oh, this is different. Yeah, it definitely caught me off guard. But before we do that, make sure you save. So in case you do go down, you don't have to go all the way back. Yeah, craft a stack grenade. Definitely will be useful. This is the last section before the final boss. As soon as we put this key in here, I was testing out many different ways
Security threat detected.
on how to deal with these lickers, and I found out that for whatever reason,
Required.
yeah, you're gonna see right here, like once we put this in, the lickers follow a certain path. So like if we hug this ball back here, let them kind of drop down, do their little roar, those lickers actually have to go all the way around. I'm not sure why. I restarted multiple times to make sure it's consistent, and every single time they did it for me like that. So hopefully that happens for you as well.
Pod lockdown unavailable. Memory corrupt. Self-repair.
Because yeah, I was just like, is it?
offline.
Did we find a way how to do this without, you know, having it be super chaotic? And I mean, apparently it does work like that.
Pod lockdown.
At least from what I tested. And this next part's not too bad. Definitely way easier to deal with these guys versus the lickers.
Let's get this over with.
And we're just back at like 50k credits, so
The elevator will arrive shortly.
grab any loot that you need. Make sure you upgrade, or not upgrade. If you haven't upgraded your armor yet, make sure you fix it, because once we go up this elevator, you kind of do the walk towards the very last section, and everything you have right now will be what you end up taking to the final boss.
Has arrived.
So if you need a minute, you know, go fix your armor. Go get anything that you need. And make sure you have the main magnum out, because it will be the weapon that you have out whenever you immediately fight Gideon. So we want to make sure it's our best weapon. Yeah, because like you don't want to have like a grenade out, and then like you start the fight, Gideon's like walking towards you menacingly, and you just have a grenade that, you know, is completely just gonna go past them. So make sure you have the magnum out, because we do want to play it a specific way. You'll end up seeing, but I'll kind of want to explain it here, since like in the middle of the boss fight there's so much happening. So to keep up with that, I kind of want to reiterate again, if you're playing in third person, what makes the fight kind of hard sometimes is that he gets super close to you, and since your back might be against the wall, the camera's just too zoomed in, so it's kind of hard to see what his next attack is going to be. And some of his attacks, whenever you parry it, he gets like a mini stun, but some of them he doesn't get a mini stun. Like he'll do an attack, and then if he doesn't have a mini stun, he'll just follow up with another one. So we need to take advantage of the ones that he does get stunned in. It'll make more sense whenever we get to that part. But the easiest one to tell that he doesn't get stunned in is the kick. Like what you'll see when he does a kick, he almost immediately always follows up with another attack. So you don't have time to like parry it and then shoot. The ones you can take advantage of really consistently is like when he's using his tentacle arm and you parry that, he gets like mini stunned. We're going to be using that to not only take a shot, but sometimes when we do parry it, we want to run past him and give us some breathing room. Because yeah, whenever he has you in the corner, the camera becomes your enemy, and then with him doing all these attacks back to back, it can be kind of hard to telegraph. We're almost there. We're at the very end.
You are my hope.
She is my hope.
And you do have to release Elpis, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. This is it.
So make sure you pick the hope one. Plus, it's a good ending. We want to save Leon. Okay, so if you're not using the rocket launcher, take a shot. See that attack? He gets mini stunned. As you can see, he kind of like tilts backwards. Do you see that attack? He did not go backwards when he got stunned. So those two attacks back to back, that's a good thing that he showed us that. Those two attacks he doesn't get stunned from, but these attacks he does. So I wanted to showcase that so it's like known. Yeah, see, you see how close he gets to us? It kind of makes the camera uncomfortable. So sometimes if you want to make space, get ready to parry, then run away. Yeah, see, like when he does that kick, he immediately follows up with something, but since he got stunned there, we were able to take a shot. Just keep your distance. Yeah, see, like only take a shot or run away if you know for sure he's stunned. Like, do you see, like those two, he's not stunned. Since he's stunned there, we can take a shot. He's not stunned, get ready to parry again. As you can see, even with an upgraded hatchet, it goes down pretty fast. That is pretty risky to take a shot there. Yes, he's stunned, take a shot. So keep switching between your weapons, or if you want to, just kind of keep running away. Once he's transforming, use this time to reload all your weapons and sharpen your thing. When he's up there, before he starts his electricity thing, you can actually take one shot at him. But right here, he takes no damage. So don't waste your time shooting here. Just sharpen up everything. Reload everything. Dodge this attack. Dodge this whenever he runs. And, you know, keep your distance from him. At this point, take as many shots as you can to him. Get ready to parry this attack. Keep your distance so he can pull out the RPG. Take him down. Yeah, once he's doing this, go grab the RPG. You might find yourself tight on space like me here, but you can just toss out stuff like the scrap or the gunpowder. And remember also, if you haven't used the RPG yet at this point, like, you know, the one they can buy in the store, feel free to use it. You can just skip this part, then do the Nemesis part afterwards. Wait for him to come back down. I'm not sure if you can use the RPG while he's doing that, but I just wanted to be sure. Yeah, once he lands and does this, you can take him down. Pause here. And, you know, just take a second to breathe and remember, switch to your Magnum. Take that boil out. Parry that attack. And in between parries, just do shots. When he does that attack, you can actually just stand a little bit forward and you can dodge it. Right here, sharpen up. You can actually use a grenade to pop all of these. Yeah, you have to parry two attacks here. Once you parry those two, sharpen up. Because, yeah, you need to have your thing sharpened at all times. Because you get like a few shots between every attack. Remember, this attack, again, you can just stand in the middle. Parry. Take some shots. This one looks like the other one, but it's a little bit different. That one you do have to parry. I know it's kind of hard to tell the difference, but once you see it, you can like go watch the other one and you'll see that there's a slight difference in the way he does the animation, so you will have to parry that one. You can parry this attack. It's pretty much scripted, but at this point you pretty much beat him. If you made it this far, you know, you made it. If you still have some achievements to clean up, good luck on that. But we did it. Definitely not an easy thing to do, even with infinite ammo. It definitely has its tough parts. You should definitely feel proud of yourself. You know, doing some of the achievements in these games are definitely tough, especially if you're just like a casual gamer. And since there's so many new players in Resident Evil, these games can be pretty tough. So I hope you've been enjoying it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Oh, we gotta play the cinematic. The cinematic is so awesome. Boom. Boom.
This time, you ain't getting back up.
Damn. We did it. Congratulations again. Hopefully your run goes as smooth as that. Make sure you leave some comments. Let me know how your run went. Let me know anything that you may have learned that you didn't see here. I'll make sure to include that in the next video. Got it done. 3 hours and 30 minutes. Definitely felt a little bit longer than that, but I guess there's some scenes that don't count it as that. Got 50,000 points. At that point, I mean, you can use the points to buy any of the bonus stuff, you know, unlock those concept arts and the other stuff that you need for the achievements. Thank you again so much for watching. Thank you again for all the love and support you guys have given me over the years. Again, just, it really does mean a lot. Thank you for always leaving comments, helping out others. Remember, stay healthy, drink water, show yourself some love, show your family some love. And thank you again. I mean, it's been a fun journey. Always excited to release something new. Thank you guys so much again. And until next time, see ya.